All right, go for it.
Love that Burgerthausen ought to be cursed.
Mike, can we run that back? Someone's
Why?
going through the Rolodex while he was talking. Run it.
What?
You could hear like a really loud noise while he was doing that. Run it back.
Okay.
It may not have recorded, but we'll do it again. Hold on.
Make sure I have no tabs up or nothing. All right. All good. One more time. All right. Love that Burgerthausen ought to be cursed.
Welcome to Book It, a wrestling podcast where we book and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner, High Five Mike, and today every GM's Damone, D Money Allen,
Hello.
Primetime Travie T,
Howdy.
Lil Fudge, and bad guy Hollywood Kenny.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate
Yeah, I
that.
hate it.
I like it.
I hate it so much. You think
All
you would
right,
give it? If you were to give it to somebody, you would give it to someone who doesn't already have like 3 names. You would give it to John.
Yeah.
Hollywood Lil Fudge is way better than bad guy.
No,
Hollywood
he has
Kenny.
Just make it Hollywood
I'm
Fudge. It's
like
better.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan right now.
You should just
No.
made it Hollywood bad guy.
Okay,
Or just
we
not.
can run it
Or
back
not.
if you want.
No,
'cause
no.
you
We've
fucked
already
it
had 2
up.
run
Now
backs.
You
No.
fucked it up by doing it to begin with. Keep going.
That just took the steam out. All right.
Mike doesn't like
to
when we
run
make
it
fun of him.
No, it just.
We don't have to run it back. Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Go.
I'm
Go.
already big.
All right.
That's what she said.
We don't have to run anything back.
So this week, we're gonna be doing Little Fudge's book it verse for round 3, right? This is round 3.
Yes, sir.
Book of verse 3, round 3.
Yeah, book of verse 3, round 3. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about your show?
Yes. So this will be Taboo Tuesday live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Our theme song will be Tallied Up, Settle the Score by Sleeping with Sirens. And we have collected votes, mostly from the Book It general managers. I posted it to our home group, but those motherfuckers wanted to comment on the thread saying they were going to vote and then not do it. So it was mostly just your fellow general managers and Commissioner High Five Mike who voted on these matches and gave you the outcomes that you will hear today.
All right.
Why does he always try to speak so eloquently and
Because he's a teacher.
articulated? Bitch, if you don't just say what you mean.
Because like 10 minutes into my show, I'm gonna be like, "Arr!" As to get my southern accent going.
What was that?
Not like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Did you just bark at us?
If you have not listened to a Book It verse yet, I recommend either going to the beginning of this series of Book It verse, or even the first, or you can go right into the tag team. That one was fun.
Was it?
I'm glad we won.
Yeah,
that
You had
one.
because we
fun
won that one. We won 3 out of 4 weeks.
We're not
'cause
talking about that
we're
one.
the
We're
goats.
moving on.
3 out of 4 weeks and you still lost.
3 out of
It's
4
crazy.
weeks because
It's crazy. The
you
electoral
bored
college
us
killed
so
y'all.
much that we thought it was okay to.
Travis at a red state. He loves the
really-
electoral college.
It really was the electoral college. Win the popular vote, still lose.
He really is a Trumpster, man.
Trumpster.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I guess we're gonna get started with Lil Fudge's pay-per-view.
Alrighty. So the beginning of the show starts with LeVar Ball, the general manager of BBW, coming out in a sequin black tux saying, and I'm gonna do a voice impression. Y'all gonna call me whatever. Every time I do an impression, they say I sound racist. I'm just gonna
Go ahead,
eat
do
it.
your
You're in the South already, so
This is LeVar Ball / Booker T / Bobby Lashley / Shelton Benjamin /
Slash Kenny.
Yeah.
Slash Damone.
Slash Will Smith slash Chris Rock.
Slash Kaon.
Uncle Phil, keep going.
Well,
Slash Sledge.
somehow Kaon's dumber than LeVar Ball, but he's one of very few. Las Vegas, welcome to BBW Taboo Tuesday. I am your BBW HBIC head baller in charge, and I am your master of ceremonies for this evening. The 7 matches advertised for you this evening will all have outcomes voted on by you, the Ballerverse.
Never
You will
lost.
now get to see your show take place, as well as some surprises we have in store. Keep in mind, the outcomes of these matches will have implications for next month King of the Ring tournament, so the stakes are high. The first matchup this evening will take place between Eddie Guerrero and Owen Hart. We had some
I'll
questions.
never forgive you.
We had some questions about this match happening, but Owen's Hart's bail was posted this morning, and
Bail?
this
Bail?
match was voted.
When
You'll
did he
hear.
get arrested?
You'll hear. So this is happening after the builds, keep in mind. And this match will be a strap match. So here starts the build, starting with the week
Pornhub.
after St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
We want brazzers.
Kenny drafted that, I can't give it to you.
Yep. Just wait next review.
Oh, God.
Like when Alexis Texas shows up. in that
Reality
steel
King.
cage match.
So the first thing talked about as Malice begins after St. Valentine's Day Massacre is Owen throwing Eddie off the stage following Eddie's heartbreaking loss to MJF for the World Championship. Skip Bayless on commentary says, "While I don't condone MJF's actions, Eddie didn't exactly deserve to be there. That could have been Owen Hart's career-defining night, but it now must live in infamy. I made some calls late last night, and I have scheduled a sit-down interview with Owen Hart next week." And then neither Eddie nor Owen appear on TV that night. Next week, the sit-down interview takes place. Skip asks him how he's doing and then goes straight into the questions. Skip says, "My goal tonight is to paint a picture of your mind for the fans. I want them to hear your side of the story. Describe your friendship with Eddie before this transpired." Owen says, "Gladly. Eddie and I were tight. He was my favorite guy to travel with, train with, eat with, work out with. I saw this man more than I get to see my family. We always went about wrestling in different ways, but our love and respect for this brought us together. He was my best friend in the locker room." Skip says, "So if your friendship was that close, how was one match enough to erase that?" Owen says, "There are only 2 things more important to me than that friendship, and those are wrestling and my family. On a normal day, he is someone that benefits from those things. When he stole that match from me, he not only affected them, but he didn't even have the respect to do it fairly. The day we faced off should have been the day we saw who the better man is. Instead, we found out who the worst one is." Skip says, "Well, this will be my final question for today, Owen. You sent a big message to Eddie at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. What is your message to Eddie today?" And Owen says, "I'm not done, Eddie. For every dollar my family lost, for every day that I'm not BBW World Champion, I'm gonna make you suffer. Me throwing you off the stage was a lighthearted joke compared to what's next. Eddie, you might as well kill yourself, because that's where you're headed either way." And Skips looks horrified as he shakes his hand and thanks him for his time.
Was this Skip?
Skip was interviewing him. So Skip was interviewing Owen.
Okay, it was Skip. I thought you said Stephen A at the beginning.
No, that's Skip.
I have a question.
What's up?
If there's 2 people, okay,
Okay.
and instead of finding out which one's the best, they find out which one's the worst, wouldn't that also reveal which one's the best?
Hey, let me have my bars, okay? What he was saying is that
I was
he's
waiting
saying
for
that
you to say
saying that Eddie showed his whole ass instead of finding out who the better wrestler is. Continuing forward.
I got what you meant.
The following week, Eddie Guerrero is advertised to return and speak for the first time since St. Valentine's Day Massacre. He comes out with no lowrider and street clothes, looking very beat up. He grabs a mic and says, "Owen Hart has made a decision. I gotta get in that Eddie voice, kind of should not sound too racist here. That decision was to put wrestling before our friendship. That decision has caused me physical and emotional pain that hurts so bad I can barely get out of bed lately. However, that decision is one I understand. I understand that Owen Hart can beat me everywhere and every way. But in this ring, I am always a step ahead, and that eats Owen alive inside. So I'll agree, Owen, we're not done. I'm going to let these fans decide how I whip your bitter ass in this ring at Taboo Tuesday. And then Owen's music hits. Eddie looks at the stage, but So Eddie looks towards the stage, and Owen runs up from behind with a chair and hits Eddie in the back, following up with repeated chair shots. He gets down and punches Eddie unconscious. He's mocking Eddie as he stomps him, saying, "Who's a step ahead, huh? These fans won't save you. You're done." And he rolls outside the ring and grabs another chair and sets up a concerto, hitting his head 3 times before walking away.
You made him sound like Steven Richard.
I'll show you. You'll see. At this point, I'm just going to lean into how stupid my impressions sound. I don't care anymore. Next week, Owen Hart comes out to thunderous boos, and he takes the mic and says, "If Eddie Guerrero was a smart man, he wouldn't have come back to BBW." And he pauses for a big boo. Anyone with a functioning brain can connect the dots and see that there is really nothing for Eddie here. He has no title opportunities. He has no friends in the back. All he's got waiting for him is the judge, the jury, and the executioner. I am that unholy trinity. I am the one who knocks. I am the physical embodiment of the demons you've been fighting your whole life. And I am a demon you cannot pray away. You cannot beg for forgiveness as you've lied and cheated and stolen your way to salvation. If you were smart, Eddie, you wouldn't show your face around here again. Eddie walks out to no music, and as he goes down the ramp, Owen rolls out of the ring, and they start brawling down the ramp. Eddie starts getting the better and throws Owen face first into the LED post so hard that it stops working. Owen starts to scurry away, but Eddie tosses him by the hair into the barricade. Eddie goes under the ring and grabs a sledgehammer, but Owen hops the barricade and runs away through the crowd. Eddie picks up the mic and says, "I may not be a smart man, hermano, but I am a strong one. Every time you beat me down, I come right back. Just like the fans here in Cleveland who get to decide how I kick your smart ass at Taboo Tuesday." And now we're going into the go-home show. The final week on Malice and the night before Taboo Tuesday, it is announced that Eddie and Owen will talk face-to-face on Miz TV. The segment comes and they both make their entrances. They immediately get into each other's faces and Miz timidly breaks it up saying, "Now guys, we gotta at least be cordial long enough for the fans to get their Miz fix. Welcome to the Must Eat Talk Show on BBW History. Welcome to Miz TV." Now everyone whose residence isn't a rock knows that these two have been at each other's throats for a month straight. Tomorrow night, you two will settle this in one of 3 grotesque stipulations that these Las Vegas fans and around the world get to choose. My first question is, if Eddie had beaten MJF and this match been for the World Championship, would there still be a friendship between you two? Owen speaks, first saying, "I knew that scenario was impossible weeks before that match took place. I knew Eddie would lose, and he would take MJF's bait on the mic. I knew he would lose when MJF invaded his home, and I knew he would lose when he couldn't keep MJF and his goons from jumping me in the back. I knew in those moments that you would lose, and that I would never forgive you for taking my opportunity away." Eddie
He
retorts,
said the thing.
"I'm giving you what you want." Eddie retorts, "Then why did you pretend to? You could have faced me like a man after I lost, but you chose to hug me and tell me it's okay before stabbing me in the back."
Can he do that? Is he allowed to do that accent?
Listen, I told y'all I'm leaning into these stupid impressions, and y'all are gonna take it.
Come on,
I don't
Oos.
know.
Keep going.
I like it, John. Lean in.
Right. Owen, you did it because you'll never compete with me face to face. You're just not good enough, SA. You couldn't handle being my friend because you lived in my shadow. And Owen cuts him off, yelling, I did what I did because you deserve to feel what I felt. You deserve to have the rug pulled from under you. You deserve to have your moment stolen. You deserve to feel like no one has your back. And Owen stands up and speaks quieter. You deserve everything that's happened to you, and you deserve everything that's going to happen to you tomorrow night. Eddie stands and gets in Owen's face, and in a shocking moment, Owen Hart pulls a knife, moving it towards Eddie. Eddie grabs his wrist. Miz is in utter shock. Commentary is screaming, and police are running to the ring. Eddie pulls Owen down by his arm, starting to go for a crossface and subdue him. Owen gets to a rope and quickly gets out of the ring. Owen is cuffed and taken up the ramp while Eddie stands on the turnbuckle screaming at him. Now, let's get to our attires. Eddie is wearing gold tights with black and green designs. Owen Hart is going to be wearing a red leather jacket and shades for his entrance, underneath a matte black singlet with shiny black Heart designs. Gilbert Gottfried is in the ring, our ring announcer, explaining the rules of the strap match. Owen and Eddie will be connected by a leather strap on their wrists. To win the match, one of them must touch each corner without interruption.
Who is this now?
Gilbert Gottfried, the ring announcer.
Okay, wait. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know who. I was too busy laughing. Who?
Gilbert Gottfried's the ring announcer. Rest in peace,
That
Gilbert.
sounded like
He just died. Are we allowed to do this?
I'm
Bruh.
dying over here.
Yes, I'm
Bro,
paying my
between
tribute.
Between the knife pull
Bruh.
right thing to Gilbert Godfrey.
bro.
I'm
That's too much
dying.
going on back to back. Wait. Do y'all remember Hercules? Them two demons. That's
Yeah.
what you sound like one of them demons. That's what you sounded like. He said, come on, Hades! That's
so
what
just-
you sounded like.
Just before I start the match, this is going to be a brawl type match, and I'm not going to write every punch, kick, or strap whip, so just assume a lot of that between every spot. So it's a violent start with Eddie wailing on Owen in the corner and choking him with the strap. After beating him down, he hits the three amigos to assert his dominance. Eddie wraps the strap around Owen's arm and yanks it toward his back over and over, attempting to pull it out of socket. Owen escapes Eddie's grasp by quickly going through the middle rope, pulling Eddie's neck into it. Owen drags Eddie face first into the ring post, because Owen goes outside the ring, and then does it multiple times to bust Eddie open onto the post. He then uses the loose strap to wrap Eddie's neck to the post, beating him in a slow, grueling fashion until Eddie becomes a bloody mess. Owen unwraps him from the post and goes into the ring. He then wraps the end of the strap around the top ropes, hanging Eddie by his arm. He then puts his arm around his neck and chokes him. Eddie uses all of the strength in his core to skin the cat and get up to the apron, and then jumps off, stunning Owen on the top rope. He manages to free himself and restore neutral position in the ring. After Eddie gets up to neutral, Owen pulls him into a fast European uppercut. That takes Eddie to a knee, and he starts talking trash to Eddie, telling him he's a piece of shit, a bad friend, a bad husband, and now a bad wrestler. Eddie starts begging for forgiveness, and then he gets a low blow and smiles. Eddie uses the strap to guide Owen to a rope walk head scissor, touching his first corner on the way. He takes Owen to the next corner, touches it, and then bashes Owen's head into it 3 times. He pulls Owen to the third corner, touches it, and then does the 10 punches in the corner. As the crowd pipes up with excitement and Eddie starts moving towards the fourth quarter, Owen slides out of the ring in the opposite direction, and he pulls Eddie shoulder first into the turnbuckle and smashes his arm onto the post. He then kneels and pulls the knife out of his boots, cutting the strap off his wrist. He then uses the cut strap to tie Eddie's arm to the post. Owen gets back in the ring, knife still in hand, and he goes at Eddie. Eddie uses his free hand to grab Owen's knife, bloodying his hand, and he slides it to the outside of the ring. The timekeeper grabs it immediately, and Owen gets Eddie angry. He gets angry, rapidly punching, kicking, kneeing, and elbowing Eddie until he falls unconscious. Owen finally becomes satisfied with his work as Eddie Guerrero is no longer able to hold himself up, He touches all 4 corners, no longer connected to the strap, getting the win. And your winner is Owen Hart.
Okay. I don't have a number. Not gonna lie, the knife thing had me dying. Like,
Was it a good dying?
I was laughing hilariously. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
I don't know if I
yet,
described
so-
it right, but basically it's supposed to, like, the way like it was like produced and made to look was supposed to make it look like Owen went rogue, like off script. Like Miz loses his shit. Like his eyes are like fucking massive. He's like, holy fuck. And like and then like cops start running down. Like it's supposed to look like Owen went rogue off script. And then of course Owen uses that to break free from the strap and cheat to win this match.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give you a 5.
Let's go!
I'm gonna
I
seem
like
like
the
I'm gonna
I
seem
like
like a
the
hater
build.
here.
I like the build.
Can
I like the match. I like the fact that he essentially cheated. You brought the knife thing back, and he used it to essentially cheat to win. Right person won. Owen should have won. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a 5.
I ride with fucking Damone.
I'm also going with the 5. I
I
agree with
ride
Damone
for Mike. Let's
wholeheartedly.
go!
Yeah.
Now let's
I'm
hope
also going to give you a 5.
Are you really?
I got it
Yeah.
from Travis too?
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I only got 1 hater.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I hated this. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Well, you're alone on this.
Hey, I'll take it. Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you why before I give you my score. I didn't like the builds. I didn't like the build. The actual promos, I wasn't feeling it.
Was it my impressions or the actual words I was
No,
saying?
the actual words. No. I pushed that aside. I didn't like that. And the knife was just hokey to me. Like that whole shit was hokey to me. Yeah.
It was, but I enjoyed it. I
Yeah,
had
right.
me like cracking up.
how
over it.
Wrestling is hokey, man.
I was trying to be like,
I know, but it was
I was
bad.
trying to do something different for a heel where like they really cross that line because heels have done every fucking thing, you know what I mean? But you know what they haven't done? Pull the lethal weapon out for the most part. That's not very often. I was trying to do something unique.
No, I think somebody pulled out a gun one time. I think it's a son that wrestles now. But
A knife is way scarier.
Yeah, knife is I'm way more scared of a knife.
Especially if
than a
it's in the hands of your orangutan.
all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just rip off the band-aid and go ahead and give you a score. I give you a 1.75. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
to you.
not that
I
bad.
hated
That's
it.
not that bad.
Yeah.
I was scared it was gonna be a point fat. I'll take it almost 2.
No, it was
Compared to all
more.
those 5s.
Most of it was for the match. The match was good. I will give you it. The match was good, but I hated everything before that.
All right.
And I feel like the right man won too.
Okay. I'm happy I only have 1 hater now. I won over Travis, so I just got to win over Kenny next match.
One match is not winning me over, bud.
You're
Hey,
gonna lose me.
it's a
over.
rare Travis 5. All right. So LeVar Ball, our master of ceremonies this evening, comes back out. Wow, that was a disturbing display. Tensions are high and emotions are flaring. Up next, we have 2 fantastic talents competing for a shot at their big break. This will be the final match to determine our seeds for the King of the Ring tournament next month. The record's finalized after this show ends, and this is the last tie to be broken. You voted, and the votes were a tie. This will be broken. This tie will be broken because 2 out of 3 falls count anywhere. So this is going to be the King of the Ring last chance seeding match. 2 out of 3 falls count anywhere, with Mustafa Ali and Scorpio Sky. And here's the build. So LeVar Ball comes out the first week of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre with a major announcement advertised. He says, "Tonight is a big night for BBW here in St. Louis. These next 2 months will reshape the future of this company, and we're thankful for everyone along for the ride. In 2 months' time, the King of the Ring tournament will take place. Per usual, the top 16 wrestlers with the highest win percentage not holding a championship will make the qualifier round, and the winner of the tournament will receive a championship match at Final Destination. What's not usual is that the entire tournament will take place at a 3-day wrestling festival in Miami. And why I bring that up today is because the record's finalized after Taboo Tuesday, and we have some close calls in our rankings. Those wrestlers will be given opportunities to get ahead over the next few weeks. Starting tonight. Take care, St. Louis. I'll see you at Taboo Tuesday. So among other matches, Mustafa Ali upsets BBW Trios champion Eddie Kingston, giving him his first singles loss all year after Chuck Palumbo fumbles a plan to cheat. Scorpio Sky that night defeats Dr. Wagner Jr. that night, eliminating Wagner from contention. The next week, seeding matches continue as Mustafa Ali takes a hard countout loss to Leo Rush with distractions from the Acclaimed. However, Scorpio Sky defeats Xavier Woods one-on-one. The third week, Scorpio Sky makes quick work of Santino and gets cocky. Well, he's making quick work of Santino and gets really cocky. He starts taunting to the crowd, and Santino rolls him up for a 3 count. Ali manages to survive and defeat Rhino that same night. The following week, Mustafa Ali and Scorpio Sky are brought into LeVar Ball's office and told, "You're both here today because you two have been exactly evenly matched this year. Your records are the exact same, and you are both at the 16th seed. With only 8 days left till the show, we gotta sort this out. So I'm giving you both your toughest match yet. Ali, tonight you'll go one-on-one with Sami Zayn. And Scorpio, tonight you got Kofi Kingston. These two are very tough opponents and some incredible matches for our fans. Now go out there and claim your destiny." And Ali asks, "Why don't we just face each other?" And LeVar states, "There is a method to my madness." That night, Mustafa Ali
That's
and
stupid.
Ratio. That night, Mustafa Ali and Sami Zayn are having a hard-fought match. Scorpio Sky comes out and beats down Sami Zayn, giving Ali the DQ loss before he can chase him off. Later that night, Sky is facing Kofi, and Ali's music and lighting hits, but when the lights go up, Sky eats a Trouble in Paradise from Kingston and gets pinned 1, 2, 3. LeVar Ball struts out with a smile and says, "Things are heating up and time is running out. And I always have a plan, never lost. Mustafa Ali will face Scorpio Sky at Taboo Tuesday, and you, the BBW fans, can decide what type of match it will be." And on the Go Home show, Stephen A. is shown on screen saying, "So much is up in the air as Taboo Tuesday nears, and no one knows what to expect. The same is true for these two men. I am joined by Mustafa Ali and Scorpio Sky. Fellas, tomorrow night, this is it. The loser of this match loses their chance for their big break. What's going through both of your minds? I'll start with you, Scorpio." And Scorpio says, Scorpio's kind of has like a deep voice, kind of like that. I'm going to try to do it. "Truth be told, I could not
Sounds
have
like
gotten...
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest. "I could not have gotten the luckier break. If Mustafa Ali is my obstacle, you might as well start making brackets with my name on them. I've already booked the after party in Vegas. The bitches and the champagne are ready. I am not pressed."
Bitches.
Okay, Kenny's face over here. I'm done. I
Uh,
just want to put Kenny on the big screen because his reactions are worth everything here.
Stephen A. points the mic to Ali and the crowd roars. "I gotta be honest, Stephen. My heart is beating out of my chest. The weight of the world is on my shoulders, and I cannot cave. I will not cave." While Scorpio Sky is going out to clubs to celebrate patting his record on proving grounds, I'm spilling my heart on national television. I'm staying late at every venue to sign action figures, talking with families, and making myself available for the communities we visit. I may be nervous going into this match, but I'm not going into this match alone. Every single one of them is a beat in the heart of Mustafa Ali." So Steven says, "You two may have the same record, but your stories could not be any more different. What's the biggest difference between you and your opponent?" Scorpio says, "The difference is people hate me because they're jealous of me. They know they'll never beat me. I'm hotter, faster, stronger, and richer than all of them. Ali? Anyone could be an Ali. They love him because he shows that any of their broke asses can get a sympathy deal."
Who's this talking again?
Scorpio Sky.
Okay.
"That sympathy runs out at Taboo Tuesday." And Ali interrupts, "You're right about one thing. Any of them could be me. Those fans look at me and they see someone who doesn't listen to the naysayers, someone who dreamt of making a difference and will leave this place better than he found it. They look at you, and they just see another guy who believes his own hype. If you're not pressed, you should be. And then he pats his shoulder and walks away. So here's the attires. Ali's in rainbow gradient tights with black panels. And Scorpio's, and then Scorpio Skies in silver tights with black designs. Kenny, attires just for you.
Thank you. So I got a picture.
All right, so here's the spots. Scorpio gets the jump on Ali, literally, as he hits a jumping clothesline, sending both of them over the top rope. Ali jumps onto the barricade and goes for a tornado DDT onto the steps. Scorpio reverses and hits a Death Valley driver onto the steps. Sky hits an angle slam onto the apron. Sky clotheslines Ali over the barricade into the crowd, then uses a barricade rail to hit a slingshot cutter onto the floor. Sky walks over to a kid holding a sign that says Ali is my hero and rips it up and then takes the dad's beer and drinks it. When he turns around, he hits a nasty super kick from Ali and has to spit all the beer out. Ali uses the barricade to kick off for a Dudley dog onto the floor and pins Sky to get the first fall. Sky starts to scurry away. When Ali catches up, Sky grabs a woman in the crowd as hostage and he shoves her into Ali and then hits a jumping knee onto Ali off the surprise. Scorpio tosses Ali over the barricade back out to ringside and then jumps off the barricade to the flying forearm. Ali hits a poison rana onto the floor. He runs into the ring, off the ropes, and goes for a tope con hilo, but Sky moves and Ali crashes right into the floor in front of the announce table. Sky picks Ali up and then hits a TKO through the announce table. He pins him and gets the second fall, tying up the score 1-1. Ali runs at Scorpio and gets tossed over the barricade on the other side, going back into the crowd. When Scorpio climbs over, he eats an enziguri. Scorpio runs a fan out of their seat and then hits Ali with the chair. He then DDTs Ali onto the chair and attempts a pin, gets a 2 count. Scorpio lifts Ali up into powerbomb position, but Ali reverses into a facebuster. So he's like above the chair, and Ali reverses it into like a facebuster, like an X Factor onto the chair. The crowd starts chanting, "We want tables!" And Ali gets a table. And then Sky runs up with a chair, but Ali super kicks the chair into his face. Sky falls back onto the table, and Ali sets him up onto it. Ali goes up to the next level of the crowd, above the exit tunnel. He poses for a selfie with a fan up there, and then goes to the edge and hits an 054 off the exit tunnel and through the table. He lands on top of Sky, who gets pinned 1, 2, 3. Ali gets the second fall and is your 16th seed for the King of the Ring tournament, breaking the tie.
Okay.
All right. So in terms of your build, I just want to say this was just Tyler Breeze versus Dusty Rhodes, but not as good.
I didn't say daddy 10 million times. Sorry, I was missing that.
I mean, that's part. That's how Dusty Rhodes talks. So I mean, you can make that joke.
That was a way different build.
Not really.
That was for a title. This is for a tournament seeding.
The prize doesn't matter.
It completely fucking does, because they're dealing with win percentages, seedings, records, all this shit that went into it. You're speaking in platitudes.
Motherfucker started pulling out big words.
They fall for something else.
But continue.
At the end of the day, you did a champion that thinks he's better or not champion.
It's not a champion, idiot.
You did one person. keep insulting me before I give you my grade. You did a wrestler that thinks they're better than everyone, and a wrestler that claims to be the common man. It's literally the same story.
That's called a face and a heel. Welcome to wrestling.
To be fair, yeah.
He wasn't eating chicken nuggets though.
Yeah, there was no chicken nuggets.
Also, there's a big difference between a face. There's like all kinds of different faces. He chose to be the one that does a promo about how he's fighting with the spirits of the fans with him, and he's fighting for the fans, which is exactly what Dusty Rhodes did in his
That's
promo.
what a lot of baby faces do.
That's a baby face move.
It's not original.
Jeff Hardy's done it. Like
Yeah,
fucking
I'm a
John
big-
Cena's done it.
I'm saying this is the exact dynamic. It says you have all these different heel tropes, all of these different babyface tropes, and you took the exact two that I use.
Travis,
Put them
I
together.
promise you I was not using
They're
your
good
match as
tropes.
inspiration. They're normal
Right, they
tropes.
work well
They're
together.
good tropes. They work. They keep doing it for a reason.
Travis,
I love Mike and Damone because they
I'm-
love defending
I'm-
John
I'm
for no
rip-
reason.
Travis, there's
Because
better.
it doesn't affect y'all at all.
I will admit to ripping off things, right? I'm not ripping you off.
I don't think you're actually ripping me off. That's not
There's
what I'm
better inspiration to find.
saying. Still losing to me.
Fair enough. Keep going.
Anybody got a number? Because I still need to think this through,
I have
especially
a
with
number.
the insults being flung my way.
I have a number. I'm gonna give you a 4.
Okay.
The dollar is getting taken off mostly because
Copied my bill.
that had nothing to do with it. You got it, made it a little convoluted
Okay.
because I don't understand why they used the whole part about them just facing each other
Yeah.
for them to just end up facing each other.
I probably shouldn't have mentioned it, but I needed to
You should have just had them face each other and not.
I didn't
done
want to
that
waste this
whole-
match on a weekly show.
Just skip it. Skip the weekly show. Just get rid of that end show where they have that extra match. Get rid of it. Say, okay, you both have the same record. So at the pay-per-view, you two are gonna face each other.
That's fair. I probably just didn't need to have them on TV an extra
right,
week.
you add in an extra step for no reason.
That's fair.
So
That's valid.
that's what keeps it from being.
And Travis said something, and I knew it when I wrote it, but I was also like, I don't want to skip them. Just skip a week in the build, you know. So
To be fair, he was writing this like 5 minutes before we started.
no, this one I wrote a few weeks ago. This one I've had it in a while.
When you could have,
He wrote this. He wrote this one after. Never mind. I'm gonna stop with the Tyler.
You could have
Durden
just
jokes.
you could have moved that extra match to the beginning of the build and just
Yeah.
said that was like part of and
Yeah,
just pushed the
I
final
could have. Yeah,
part.
that's an L. I
That's
see
the
where
only
you're
yeah, that's
but-
the only like big issue I have with it.
I'll take a
I
4
think
though.
the match itself was really good. Yeah, so I give you a 4.
Those are some of
Kenny,
my
where
best
you at?
spots. I'm proud of those.
Honestly, I really do not know number wise.
I didn't like it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't
I
really care for this.
didn't either, but like it wasn't to the point where it wasn't like the first one. I hated the first one. I think this is a little better. Like by a
This
little
was
bit.
just straight mid to me.
Okay. So I'm
You
gonna
have a
go
number,
with-
Mike? Or do you
I'm
have
gonna
a
go-
number?
I'm gonna go with a 3.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a solid 2.75. 2.7.
I didn't like
Because I
this,
think
as
it's
I
not
said.
mid, but it's not. I don't know.
I think it's worse
Like,
than
it's not
mid.
terrible either. That's why I give you 2.75.
I think it's worse than mid. It's not atrocious, but I'm gonna give you a 2. It's a flat 2.
All right.
I wasn't a fan.
All right. So the next match will be Brian Cage defending the Workhorse Championship against Paul London and Alex Zane in a ladder match. So let's see how we get there. All right. So
I like that.
I love. I can hear you as a teacher, like, but I feel like that if you were a math teacher, that's how you would be. You'd
Yeah.
write it with the answer. You'd be like, let's see how we get there.
I would be pissed if he was a teacher. I'm not gonna lie to you.
L plus ratio equals.
Yeah, I'm like
Young boy better.
equals young boy better. So Paul London comes out the day after St. Valentine's Day Massacre and says, and he's got a plain voice, so I'm not gonna do an impression for him. He's a cracker. So
Oh wow. So
He-
crackers sound normal. But
he's a saltine cracker. Though. Like this man's vanilla. Like
everybody else is like, "Yo, let me tell you something about them. I'm the
this man is like okay, but Paul London is like soft serve at McDonald's, plain as you can get.
do a goofy white voice for him.
Goofy black boys.
You
I
ready
just
to
pull
goofy-
like this.
Yeah, you ready the goofy black?
So just
goofy
talk
Mexican
normal.
All right. So it pains,
oh god.
it pains me to come out without my Workhorse Championship, especially after the match that Alex Zane gave. To say the very least, we were all surprised by the appearance of Brian Cage and disgusted by the fact that Simon Dean came with him. After a tough night's rest, we're going to run that shit back and bring that title back to BBW.
Shit.
Simon Dean appears on the Ballertron and says, very inspiring. Unfortunately for you, the rules of the Workhorse Championship allow for Brian Cage to remain a traveling sales representative for Simon System Incorporated. The rule states that the title must be defended every week. It does not say that it has to be defended here every week. So Brian could break Nice Pac's lovely smile in DPW. He could torture Dick and Balls in RCW. He could end the racism in TCW. He could even drown.
Hey, there's no racism in TCW.
That's the legacy they got.
You know what you said last show, Damone. You know what you said.
He saved the best for last. Let's see what he's got for PTC.
He could even drown Jake Roberts' demons in PTC. Sorry to tell ya, but Brian won't be making it back to BBW until Taboo Tuesday. So maybe you could fetch him a credible opponent. Ciao.
Someone's
Ciao.
echoing.
You know Simon Dean would say some shit like that. So
Can you
Paul.
mute yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm kind of echoing through you, Kenny. So Paul laughs and says, "It sure smells like bitch in here, don't it?" And then so he says, "Brian's got a perfectly credible opponent right here in BBW, the best damn wrestling on the planet." And then Alex Zane music hits and London visibly groans. He's like, "Oh, not this fucking guy again," basically. He didn't say that, but you know. And Alex says, "Don't worry, no costumes, no skits, no disrespect. Last night, you showed that you deserved that title. However, when the match came down to the wire, it was clear as day that I belonged on that big stage, and I'll be damned if I slip back into obscurity. I, too, need that match with Brian Cage. And seeing that neither one of us are sniffing that belt for a month, we might as well sort this out with some good old-fashioned wrestling here in St. Louis."
Boo.
He said wrestling.
And let the fans decide the rest.
I decided I don't want to see this.
So you can decide to suck these nuts. So Zayn extends
That's
his
late,
hand.
sir. I decided not to do that.
No, I gave you the option to decide. You have to consent.
Well, I don't.
Well, I said you can decide. If you decide not to, that's fine. So Zayn extends his hand and London shakes it. They have a match following the commercial break where London goes for a top rope Frankensteiner, but Zayn turns it into a taco driver to win. The next week, they face off in a tiebreaker where London eats a knee, re-entering the ring. Zayn goes up top and hits a crunch wrap to the apron where they both spill to the outside and get counted out.
Is this man sponsored by Taco Bell?
That's like his whole shtick. Alex Zane's is, so his moves are all named after it. So they get counted out, and Simon Dean appears up on the Tron again. "Hello, Simon Dean here. I'm here to clarify, per my last request, that when I said credible opponent, I did not mean the same two guys who lost at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. I suppose if a real opponent can't be found, Brian will just have to face some local talent at Taboo Tuesday. Maybe the fans can vote on which audience member gets a lucky break. Thank you for your understanding. Ciao." And later that night, London and Zayn are in the locker room, and London is asking Zayn, "Well, what do we do?" And Zayn says, "Well, I know a thing or two about getting under someone's skin to force a match. We're going to go enjoy some indie wrestling for a couple weeks." Next week, London and Zayn are seen in safari outfits outside of a small event venue. Zayn says in an Aussie accent, "Hello, mate. Welcome to the pilot episode of The Crocodile Hunter. We're gonna traverse this indie swamp and take down the roided up beast. Follow us." They sneak into the building and then into the locker. And then they're doing this on like a GoPro and it's showing on.
You're
like,
trying to offend everybody this episode.
So basically, they're like it's on like a GoPro. It kind of looks like, you remember Alex Shelley's little skits that he like recorded?
Yeah.
It's kind of like those. It's the kind of like the look of it. So they sneak into the building and then into the locker room, and they see Cage's locker and yell, "Roidy!" And then they dig through his bag, throw his gear in the trash, and find some pills. And London says, "That's probably for his little alligator down under." And they pan over to the bathroom where showers are running, and the Workhorse Championship is on a bench. London grabs a chair, and Zayn sneaks in to try to steal the belt. A wrestler in the locker room yells what's happening, and a bunch of blurred out dudes and dudes in towels chase them out of the building, with London using the chair to fight them off. The next week begins a similar way.
Why are they blurred out? Like, what part is
They're
blurred
naked.
out? Okay, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, their dicks are blurred out. They're in the showers. It's their dicks.
Yeah, I was just making sure. Wasn't sure if like their faces were
No,
blurred out because they
it's
got
like
felonies
some are in
or
towels, some just are dick and balls flopping as they're chasing these men.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. I'll say cock and balls so I don't get copyrighted here.
Yeah, don't
Cock
get
and
hit with that
testicles.
Cock and testicles flopping.
Don't get hit with that cocky right.
Cocky, right?
Yeah, that's. I thought I heard that too.
I regret coming on tonight. I'm not gonna lie. It's not been good so far.
The next week begins in a similar way, but with two of them in that 2-person trench coat top hat costume where they're stacked up together.
Oh my god, what is this? What the hell is this?
This is bad. That's what this is. John, I'm just letting you know right now, you're on your way to getting the first 0.5 of the night.
I don't give a fuck what you think. So,
There you go.
London is telling Zayn, "Man, this is batshit. There's no way this works." And Zayn says, "Do you really think that Brian Cage is smart enough to figure this out?" And London sighs as they go into the building. Sorry, I lost my place. They go into the building and see an office room. A few minutes later, a typical indie-looking general manager gets tossed out of the room. Later that night on Malice, a second clip is shown.
If it's not Baron Blade, I don't want it.
It's Baron Blade. A second clip is shown of Cage walking into that office, and Zayn is seen sitting in the office chair, still in the top half of the disguise. Zayn
You got a monocle on and a fake mustache?
Yes. Zayn tells Cage, "Tonight you'll be facing a local favorite in a ladder match. So hand your title here, and you'll likely have it back later tonight."
Is he Australian?
No, he's just doing like a accent in his disguise. It's supposed to be like hokey, cartoony shit.
Because he did Australian last week, and I thought he change it up.
No, it's a different accent. It's supposed
So
to be
is
like
he like British now?
It's like chip, pip, cheerio. Fuck. There we go. Type shit.
Tip, chip, pip, hip, chip, tip,
Yeah,
chip, 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 chip.
Chip Dip.
I'm fucking rapping over here.
I think he said hit clip. Y'all remember those?
What
You
are
get
those?
30 seconds of a song, you put it in.
I don't remember. Oh yeah. It was like a songster though, wasn't it called that?
It's called a hit clip. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, there was probably a bootleg somewhere. Anyways, he tells him. So yeah, he'll be facing the local favorite in a ladder match tonight. So hand the title here, and you'll have it back later tonight. Cage complies, but he says, "You look familiar," and Zayn says, "Just been doing this a while." And then as Cage leaves the room, Zayn and London bolt with the title and out of the building. The video finishes with them in the car, and London saying, "I can't believe that worked," and Zayn saying, "I can't believe you went along with such a stupid plan." Final week before the match, Zayn and London come out next week with the workhorse title and ask the crowd if they want to see a real champion get crowned tonight. The crowd cheers until Simon Dean appears in the Tron again and saying, "It appears that a traveling representative from Simon System Incorporated was stolen from on the job. When you steal from Simon, you always pay. Brian is a fantastic sales representative, but there's one job he's even better at. Loss prevention." And right after he says that, Cage double clotheslines both of them from behind. He throws them both into the corner and starts beating the shit out of both of them, wailing on them, and then hits London with the belt. Zayn ducks once, but gets clobbered with the belt as well. Cage flexes with the belt until Ball comes out and says, "I'm about as sick of this as all these fans are. In the next 24 hours,
No, he's not.
these fans will get to decide the match type as you face both Alex Zane and Paul London for that title. And I really hope
The
that
crowd
you-"
goes mild.
I don't know. Kenny was reacting. You're just a hoe.
He's laughing at me.
Oh, he's the one who's like, I had to be the crowd too, to make sure.
Yeah, he's my crowd. Fuck the haters. And
You're
he said-
piping in crowd noise now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just piping in Kenny.
I'll try to get y'all's confidence up during y'all's build.
There you go, Kenny. I appreciate you. Thank you. And he says, "Hope you don't get outsmarted again. Here's the attires. Cage is in his Swolverine outfit. London is wearing a royal blue bike shorts and boot tassels. So Brian
say
Cage is an outfit,
Swolverine?
the Swolverine, where it's based off like 80s Wolverine.
I hate it so much.
That's like a real fit he's done. It's lit.
Did
Wait,
he
is
call
it-
it the
Yes,
Swolverine?
yes, he has a shirt that says that.
He can go to hell too. Both of them together.
I mean, you're just mad you built like fucking Play-Doh. So,
Okay.
anyways,
Okay,
Zayn
man.
is wearing red and lime.
He getting a point two now.
I said Zayn is wearing red and lime green in honor of Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew.
Yuck.
No.
So he's got a Taco Bell sponsor
No.
and a Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew sponsor. This man's making money. Why is he even wrestling?
He's the big draw. Anyway, Zayn and London to start the match, run out of the ring to grab ladders. Cage follows but gets smashed in a ladder sandwich. London and Zayn stand on the apron, each holding one end of the ladder, and they do a moonsault with the ladder to clothesline Cage with the middle of the ladder. Sorry, 1 second. Moonsault the ladder. All right. While Cage is down, London and Zayn start fighting on the outside. Zayn goes for a springboard whisper in the wind from the apron, but eats nothing but ladder as London is ready. London climbs the ladder in the middle of the ring, but Cage slides in the ring and folds the ladder with London on it, picks it up, and just throws that shit to the outside of the ring. He sees Zayn grabbing a ladder on the other side, and then front flips over the top rope onto him. Later on, London puts a ladder on top of both Cage and Zayn and hits a standing shooting star on both of them. London and Zayn nod and both super kick a ladder into Cage's face. And then Zayn hits a taco driver on London onto the floor. Zayn sets up a ladder across the barricade in the apron flat. And London bashes Cage's head against it until he starts to become unconscious. And hold his head. So he's holding his head and back over it. And Zayn climbs the ladder in the ring. And then he goes for the crunch wrap off the ladder, which is like the shooting star press double knee famouser. So he goes for that off the ladder to the flat ladder outside the ring that Cage is on. But Cage leg sweeps London onto the floor. So Zayn gets nothing but ladder. His knees just go straight through that shit. So that was a tough spot to explain. So Cage starts climbing the ladder, but London springboards the ladder and tries to stay in the fight. And it ends with Cage hitting a big Uranagi from the ladder to the outside. And Cage grabs the belt to stay the workhorse champion.
Okay, John. So the match was good. The first 2 to 5 minutes of the build was you had me. You had me in the first quarter. And then you lost me.
In the first half,
honestly,
first
first quarter. I actually like the Simon Dean stuff, like the sales representative thing, and I like the part where you said the loss prevention. That was cool.
I also like the loss prevention. At first, I was like, "This is dumb," and then I was like, "No, I like this."
Yeah, I like that. I like the Simon Dean stuff. I hated the accent stuff and them sneaking up and why are the baby faces stealing the belt? Not even literally just stealing the property. If you had asked, I would have let you say he appeared in TCW, by the way. I'm gonna give you a 2 for this.
Okay.
And $1.50 of that is the match. And Simon Dean.
All right, who's next?
I didn't like this.
Yeah, we know.
I didn't like it. It didn't get much better for me in the match. It's just, it was here. I'd like to hear the other numbers before I give mine. I'm going to stick with what number I got, but I'm going to go last because I think I might be the worst. I'd rather you feel a little bit more confident than.
All right. Yeah, I agree. It was pretty bad. I'm gonna go with a solid 1. I think the 0.5 was literally all matched. That 0.5 I'm giving it. I'm not gonna give you the lowest. I feel like if you got the lowest, there was no creativity. It was bad. I'm not gonna sit there and say it wasn't bad, but it was the match is what did for me. The match, you had some good spots in there. There were some decent spots in there. But leading up to it, I wouldn't care about this match at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd just be like, why is this shit happening?
John, before Mike goes, give me your number 1 favorite spot from this match.
The crunch wrap from the ladder inside the ring to the outside ladder that he goes through the ladder because Cage moves. So
Okay.
he does a shooting star from the top of the ladder inside the ring, and then it's a shooting star going into the double knees famouser, and he misses that going through the ladder.
Are you trying to convince yourself to get my higher score? Is that what you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, go ahead.
The things I liked about it, I really liked. I think I don't hate it nearly as much as they do.
That was one of the ones I wrote last minute.
I'm gonna go
I can
with
tell.
a 3.5.
I'll take that.
I like
Wow.
I like the originality you're shooting for it.
I was trying to make it like more like entertaining because it was just kind of like before it was the other extreme where it was just like these two motherfuckers sure are going to wrestle tonight.
I would have rather you have like Brian Cage like pop up actually like asked us to like can I use him in a build and had him like pop up in TCW or pop up in
I was just thinking that
DCW
too.
or something like that. I feel like that would have been a cooler build and you could have had them like chasing him like there
Yeah.
like in like not in the hokey way that you did it, but like have them like show up at the arena there. He beats them. They demand a shot like right there and then he keeps saying no to the point you get to eventually get back to BBW and they have the match at the pay-per-view.
I agree with that. I think going forward, if I do a traveling champion, like you've inspired me that I'm just gonna give you guys the champion and just say, hey, you can book this match however you want to make sure that the championship is retained, and which is what I think you should have done here. Yeah, I didn't like this, Sean. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna give you a 1 as well. That's where I was at before Kenny said it. So when Kenny said a 1, I was like, okay.
All right.
I'm not the biggest hater in the room.
All right. So next up will be our trios championship match. As you voted, the underclass gang will defend their titles against Big Show, Danhausen, and the Boogeyman. So here's how we get there. So following St. Valentine's Day Massacre, Mark Cuban hosts all of BBW's champions to discuss their next defenses and have them address the audience. This is after Simon Dean's segment, so Cage's absence is explained. Underclass gang, Lita, and MJF come out to Nasty Boos, but Orange Cassidy, after being announced twice, shows up late, cool as ever, to big cheers. Cuban asks how the crowd in St. Louis is doing, then continues, "It's not often that I make myself visible here. That's because this show isn't about me. It's about the champions in this ring and the challengers hoping to dethrone them. As you know already, Taboo Tuesday is on the way. That means it's your turn to write the show." Lita takes the mic and then she says, "I can't believe we allow all these idiots to control what we do every year. These are the same people who raved about MJF breaking and entering. These are the same people who booed us when we gave the king of sexes or Jerry Lawler his just desserts. These are the same people who chanted 'one more time' while Cedric Alexander brutalized non-wrestler and beloved rock star Ronnie Radke. The crowd chants, 'We want Cedric' over while she's talking. And Cuban continues, 'I'm sorry to hear about your grievance. Anyways, let's see what the fans have in store for you particularly.' He shows the screen. So this is one of my ones written down. The screen shows 3 options between ODB, Britt Baker, and AJ Lee. And Eddie Kingston grabs a mic saying, 'Well, I'm glad they found Britt Baker something to do because her and their gang of fake doctors weren't cut out to face the most dominant champions in wrestling.' There I am. 'Truth be told, no one is. You can't write a story like ours. That is because we were not chosen by billionaires. We don't come from royal families. We're not movie stars or college ball players. We're 3 tough sons of bitches who didn't take no for an answer. We are everything these people claim to love, yet they despise us the moment they get that promotion, the mortgage, the new car, the picket fence.' And Orange Cassidy lays down on the turnbuckle as he's ranting. And MJF cuts in and says to Cuban, 'Can you show these pores who they're facing so I can leave this putrid city already?' And Eddie retorts, 'I'll stop talking when you can make me.' And Cuban cuts in saying, 'I'm sure our fans are loving your squabble, but here's where they cut in.' The screen shows the fans will be choosing between the New Day, Danhausen and the Big Show and Boogeyman, and the Ball Brothers. Eddie screams, 'This has to be a joke. This is a comedy skit. Right? The New Day got Another title shot, and nepotism prevails once again. Who have the Paul brothers beaten? Eddie's mic cuts off, and he throws it. Sorry, I hate reading this off paper. I didn't get a chance to move this to my document. He throws it down and walks away. Cuban continues, now Orange. And Orange appears to have fallen asleep on the turnbuckle. He says, do you have anything to say to your audience? He puts the mic up to Orange, and you can hear Orange starting to snore. And Cuban says, well, I wouldn't be sleeping on this match because you'll defend against either Macho Man, Randy Savage, the Iron Sheik, or the leader of Sanity, Eric Young. Sorry. If the Western Hemisphere champ has no further comments, we'll move on to the World Championship. The crowd gives a roaring boo as MJF smirks. Cuban continues, you currently hold the most coveted prize in wrestling. During your reign, you have made some enemies in the Ballerverse. You retired John Cena. You invaded Eddie Guerrero's home and beat him with his finisher, and now here we are. You need an opponent, and I have an idea. Tonight, we will have a jump the line gauntlet match, where some of the top seeds from the King of the Ring tournament will compete in a random order, and the winner will face MJF in a match of the fans' choice at Taboo Tuesday. However, if they lose that match, they will lose their King of the Ring spot. Good luck. So MJF looks confused as the champions clear the ring and Orange has to be woken up by the referee. That night, Eddie Kingston faces Ali one-on-one, and Chuck gets on the apron to distract the ref. While Eddie is hitting the ropes, causing them to collide and Ali to take momentum and win the match. Afterwards, Eddie is screaming at Chuck Palumbo in the ring while Taz scowls. So the next week, Stephen A announces that he is here with all three trios that the fans can vote for at Taboo Tuesday. So he says, this round of voting should be very interesting as all three of these groups are fan favorites. Two of these groups are undefeated. It really is anyone's game. I'm going to allow each group to make their case to earn your votes. First up, The New Day. And Big E starts off, says, it's not often that the New Day have to compete for attention or serve as the underdogs. But we have been that and done there. There is nothing we have not done, and together, there is nothing we have not done alone and together. What we are chasing is the status of the GOATs. We don't know. We don't just want to be the best today. We want to be the best. Hip gyrating. BBW history. Voting for us to win our 5th Trios Championship will do just that. And Stephen A hands the mic to LaMelo Ball. And LaMelo says, where we differ from these other groups is chemistry. The New Day have to be sick of each other by now and have split to chase their own goals. Danhausen and his sideshow, they just started together. The Ball family, we were born and bred to win championships. Anywhere we've competed together, we never lost. This company is built on the Ball name. Vote for us if you want to guarantee new champions. Stephen A. Smith reluctantly hands the mic to Danhausen, who says, hello, Stephen. Hello, Fanhausens. My mission is very simple. I have spent all my monies on getting the Big Show to come to BBW. So, we must get the 3 golden belts and take them to the nearest pawn shop to replenish my monies. If you would like to donate, Big Show cuts in and he says, we don't have to sell the belts. Champions get a bonus here. Dano was like, really? Big Show says, yes. And to show that we are the very best, and to show we're the very best, Dano says, we're going to become very rich and very famous, very nice, and very evil. And Steven says, well, you heard the man. We must have... Wait, sorry, I keep getting mixed up. There we go. We must... Well, you heard him. You must defeat the Underpants group and become rich once again. Give us all your vote, thousands, and you will not be cursed. Stephen A continues. He says, I just got word that a triple threat match will take place next. Big Show versus Big E versus Lonzo Ball. That match takes place, and after neutralizing Big E, Big Show makes quick work of Lonzo Ball. The Underclass gang are seen watching the match backstage. The next week, the Underclass gang are seen backstage playing cards and smoking cigarettes. Eddie speaks. All right, this go round, we got 3 different targets. All 3 are expecting us to take down their biggest guy. So let's do the opposite. I'll handle that annoying little shit Danhausen. Taz, I want you to make like the Brooklyn Nets and eliminate LaMelo Ball. Chuck, I'm trusting you with Kofi. Take your time, be deliberate, and don't make any mistakes. They all nod, and they split up. At different points in the night, Eddie attacks Danhausen while he's working concessions for monies and holds his hand to the stove as Danhausen screams that's his cursing hand. Taz is seen with courtside seats to a Hornets game. At halftime, he beats down LaMelo Ball in the locker room, and LaMelo doesn't return to the game, and the Hornets lose.
Is LaMelo still in the NBA?
Yes.
I hate it here.
Chuck is last seen planting a trap that would drop a crate on the head of Kofi Kingston.
What is this, Looney Tunes?
Hey, it's an option in Raw too, baby. Kingston walks close to the trap and then sprints underneath it. Chuck chases and the trap falls on Chuck.
Wait, what's under the trap?
What do you mean?
Like, what's in the trap? Like, lure him in. Like, I imagine there's something in the trap, like money or like cheese or something.
Make chickens.
That would have got Kenny. You would have definitely got Kenny.
Kofi says, I thought I smelled a rat. Better luck next time, Chuck E. Cheese. And then next week, Underclass gang is seen backstage. Eddie is yelling at them, tonight, we each get a match with one of them. Chuck, you got a chance to make last week right and take out Kofi Kingston. So help you God, if you lose, you're gonna wish you called in sick today. Taz, you got the boogeyman, should be light work. And I got the third ball, the epitome of middle child syndrome, Leangelo. I'm gonna lock him up like a Chinese prison.
What?
Remember when LaMelo Ball got locked up in China?
Can you say that?
He said he's gonna lock him up like a Chinese prison. What's more to say? We got 2 more weeks to secure an advantage. Make the most of them. Before each match, the respective teams are shown in the locker room. Big Show and Boogeyman are awkwardly sitting together without Danhausen. Boogeyman pulls out the worms, and Big Show says, they serve something similar at Olive Garden, right? And Boogeyman versus Taz takes place, and Boogeyman is beaten in only semi-competitive fashion. The Ball brothers are seen backstage getting a pep talk from LeVar, who says, carrying the Ball family name means you never lose. And even if you do lose, you make it forget with a big win. We are strong apart, but stronger together. Just as I would beat Michael Jordan, Jello, you're going to beat Eddie Kingston and show the world what being a big baller means. The New Day are shown in the parking lot grilling burgers, wearing New Day McDonald's collab shirts. And then Xavier Woods says, over the years, we have revolutionized both the wrestling and the food industries between the Booty-O's cereal, 10 tag team championships, pancakes, 5 trios championships, and now the New Day burger at McDonald's. And our 6th trios championship. Though it is our burger, we decided to pay tribute to our eventual opponents, the Underclass gang. We made it high in fat and grease in honor of Eddie Kingston. We got a fried egg in honor of Taz's brain, and you can't forget the buns, otherwise known as Chuck Palumbo. Sorry, 1 second. The matches take place, and Taz beats the Boogeyman in the most competitive of all the matches. Eddie Kingston beats the hell out of Jello Ball, but Chuck Palumbo loses to Kofi Kingston. Eddie and Taz meet him in the ring. Eddie is screaming at him and starts to choke Chuck in the corner, but Taz breaks it up. On the final week of the build, the Underclass gang make their way to the ring, looking mad as hell. Taz takes the mic and says, tomorrow night, no matter the outcome of the polls, we will be subjected to embarrassment. Like a U.S. election, there is no good outcome. Look at the last few weeks. Instead of preparing for a real match or a fight, we're watching McDonald's ads, bad parenting, and a grown man eating worms. All this is happening, and we're not good enough? LeVar Ball looked at all of you dead in the eyes and said, we're the issue. Bullshit. Eddie Kingston continues, this is proving the point we've been pleading with you since we got here. Normal people who worked for what they have are buried into an underclass while rich parents, big business, and special interests are put on a pedestal. As much as we dread wasting our Tuesday night, we look forward to make an example out of whoever you idiots pick. Promo is interrupted by Big E with a Las Vegas! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your 5-time trios champs and feel the power. And the New Day come out wearing aprons and carrying spatulas. Big E continues on. I figured you would be more appreciative of our homage. Truth be told, this is the first and last you'll ever receive. All you'll be remembered for when you drop the belts tomorrow is a bunch of whiny, stinky, stupid, foul, gross, stupid, stinky, crybabies who were appeased for far too long. You three did not invent struggle. You simply substituted it for a personality. Who better to put that to an end? And then do the hoo, 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 hoo. And Super Saiyan by Lonzo Ball's rap song hits and the Ball brothers come out. Mello says, New Day, we appreciate everything you've done, but we've got it from here. Our dad said we need a new blood around here, and we brought the finest. The Ball family is big, strong, fast, and unstoppable. Together. These fans know you're great, but they know that we never lost. And we will hold those trios championships until we retire. One section of the crowd suddenly cheers super loud as the camera picks up Danhausen walking through the crowd selling popcorn. Every time someone tries to talk, Danhausen throws another bag of popcorn, causing the crowd to cheer over them. He gets to the ring and quickly does his curse motion to Chuck Palumbo and the underclass gang beat down Danhausen, and a brawl breaks loose. Big Show and Boogeyman run out, but Chuck runs away, holding Danhausen in his grip. Eddie orders him to leave through the crowd before Big Show clears house, but can't get to Danhausen in time. So right before the match, backstage, underclass gang is shown with Eddie yelling at Chuck, "What do you mean you lost him? And how do you lose a whole person?" And he slaps Chuck in the face. He said, "You better go out there ready to win." All right, and the attires are all standard. The underclass gang are in their doo-doo brown. Danhausen and Boogeyman in their face paint. Big Show in his typical singlet. So here are the spots. Big Show and Boogeyman appear to be facing the underclass gang alone. Boogeyman starts off the match against Eddie Kingston. Boogie starts off hot with 2 spinning elbows leading to a tilt-a-whirl side slam. Boogeyman gets Eddie into a corner and does 3 shoulder blocks. Eddie runs out and Boogeyman hits a rolling power slam. Boogeyman walks over to tag Big Show, but Eddie chop blocks him and drags him to his corner, trading tags with Taz, ignoring Chuck, who is requesting for a tag. Taz slows down the match with Taz plexes, backbreakers, chops, and stomps. Taz tags Chuck, and they both toss Boogeyman at Big Show like a battering ram, knocking him off the apron. They begin to set up for Scatterbrains after tags to keep the count going, but then they hear the Tequila song play. Everyone in the crowd starts looking around, and the camera catches Danhausen in the crowd, handing out popcorn again as he does the dance to the song. Chuck is fighting it, but he's starting to dance to the song a little bit until Eddie slaps him in the face and yells at him. Danhausen points at them all with the curse. While underclass gang is arguing, Boogeyman is let go, and Big Show returns to the apron. Off the distraction, Boogeyman gets the hot tag. Big Show runs in and sling blades Eddie Kingston. He super kicks Taz, and then he hits a European uppercut on Chuck. Big Show front drop kicks Eddie and Taz out of the ring, then kips up. Then as Chuck runs up, he kicks his leg and hits a Falcon Arrow. He then looks at the crowd and climbs up to the top rope to hit the BME, the biggest moonsault ever, and pins him for a 1, 2, 3. Danhausen and the Sideshow are your new Trios champions. After the match, Eddie and Taz roll into the ring and pick Chuck up, only to beat him down, calling him dead weight. Yeah, that's it. And they spit on him and leave him in a heap in the ring. So that is the end. So
Heap.
they turn on Chuck after the match because he ate the pin to the Big Show.
Gave us a slave word. He said heap.
What the fuck?
This is cool.
You liked it?
It was all right.
You didn't sound like you liked it.
It was all right.
All right,
It wasn't.
I'll take it.
I enjoyed it. I'm giving it a 5.
Let's
It's
go!
It's not a 5.
Yeah, Mike is wild and with
5
that.
for me. I like Danhausen.
Dub.
I like Danhausen too.
Is that what gets it every time?
But-
He's like, I like
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I
You
like
know that's how he
Danhausen.
rates. I like Danhausen 5. I hate
like
CM Punk.
Danhausen.
0.5.
Well, that's how that's also what happens when I watch real wrestling.
Dub.
So
I ride for you, Mike. Thank you.
I like the matches of the people I like.
Dub.
I think the right team won. I liked most of the Danhausen, or pretty much all the Danhausen stuff. Underclass gang, I don't really care for. I
Well,
don't
they
really care
lost.
that. I don't really care that Palumbo got beat down either. I'm gonna give you a 3.
Okay. You buying a New Day burger?
Yeah, I'd buy a new day.
Oh,
burger.
I'm in
Actually,
for-
no, I
I'm
wouldn't
getting all
because I don't
3.
like fried eggs.
Ah.
I don't like fried eggs,
Fair
so
enough.
I'm out on
I
the
wanna
new day
cl-
burger.
I want to collect all the boxes.
You're gonna buy them New Day McDonald's collab shirts.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna work at McDonald's just to get their shirts.
So, a couple of things.
All right.
I could definitely see New Day getting a McDonald's collab. I'm surprised they haven't already. 2, the New Day should have a TV show on the Food Network.
Dub.
3, y'all really let this motherfucker put the Ball Brothers as an option and didn't vote for them?
Nobody voted for them. Not one
No.
I
vote.
could have swore I voted for them.
No, you voted for Danhausen.
Mm.
Nobody
Yeah,
voted
I
for
hold
them.
this L.
I was scared people were gonna vote for the Ball Brothers.
I hold this L then.
Yeah, no one wanted the Ball Brothers. I wanted an actual good match.
I would have had the Ball Brothers wilding though, because they don't have a moveset. I would have just been like, all right, he does a double movesault. He's athletic. He can do it.
Mm.
He's athletic. He can do it.
I would have had
You
the
gotta call it the double dribble.
because there's no moveset. I would have had Ball Brothers doing some wild shit in the ring.
Yeah, double moonsault, the double dribble.
That's kind of sick.
Do a shoulder block called a charge.
I actually kind of like that.
This is kind of corny. I'm not gonna lie. I hated this build.
I thought you just
In
said you
terms
liked
of-
it. What
I
happened?
liked it. I liked the match. I hated the goofiness of it. Overall, it wasn't bad. I hate the goofy corniness of it.
I mean, it is Danhausen skits.
I love
said
the
it was
goofy.
all
I
right.
love the goofy.
I didn't say I
goofy
liked it. I said it was
corniness of
all
it.
right.
That's what I'm about. Is that
I'm
goofy
gonna give you a
corniness.
3. It's mid. I do think you lean. You get. This isn't like this didn't affect your score at all, but this is a observation I have. Once you start doing something, it's not just now. This was in the tag team book verse with Raven as well. Once you get good scores out of someone the first time, you run that thing till it's dry. Like you
You do.
do. it
Y'all
till it's
voted for
dead.
Danhausen.
I know,
Hey.
but I'm just saying that it's just.
You run the bit dry. I'm here for it, but
I ain't vote for that shit.
I don't blame you. If it works the first time and it works the second time, why not do it the third time?
That's how a hangover gets made, and that's never good.
Yeah, true.
Because like, if I were to like be like, now I'm gonna repackage Danhausen as a serious character, that shit would get like a 0.5. You know what I mean? I gotta
Yeah, it
do
would.
I gotta do his bit. You know.
No, I'm not mad at that.
I'm not either.
That-
I'm just.
That would be most. That's actually probably most of your score.
Were you dropping the belts no matter who got voted in?
Yes.
Oh wow. We could have gotten 2 Ball
We were,
Brother matches,
we were
guys.
voting for champions. All right.
Yeah, I was dropping the belts that night because Chuck was getting turned on no matter what.
Wow.
That's a mess. I'm gonna give it a solid 3. I think, just like they said, I hated the build, but the match was good. So that cancels out. So that's why you got that. So you got solid 3 for me. You already know I don't like that Danhausen shit, but
All right. So the next match, of course, Master Ceremonies comes out and it says, so This voting situation is a little bit more complicated going into this match, as we have 3 candidates to face our Western Hemisphere champion, face our Western Hemisphere champion, Orange Cassidy. And it was a tie for all 3. And you know I like to shake things up a bit. So, tonight, Orange Cassidy will defend his title against Macho Man, Iron Sheik, and Eric Young. And just because I like to really shake it up, it will be a Monsters Ball match. All right, so here's how the bill begins.
I was late. My fault.
So on all the title matches, basically from this point, the first week is going to be that championship segment that Cuban did promoting all the matches. So it's going to go straight to week 2 on this bill, and like all the other title matches. So it is advertised that a tag match between Orange Cassidy and Macho Man and Iron Sheik and Eric Young will take place. Sheik and Young have the Persian Lions Insanity at ringside. Orange hits Young with an orange punch and tags Savage, who taunts as he goes up for the elbow drop. Sheik distracts the ref as Dane throws Savage off the rope to the outside and gets counted out. Sanity jumps Savage, and the Persian Lions jump Cassidy. Sheik gets a mic, and he goes full unhinged, and this is going to be a bad impression, so y'all just going to live through it. Last week, you sleep on us. This week, we put you to sleep. You and the Nacho Man are jokes.
Who is this?
Iron Sheik. I'm going like unhinged Twitter Iron Sheik. This is not funny. We are kicking your asses. And the next week, a triple threat is
It was funny.
That was not a good Iron Sheik impression.
I told y'all gonna have to live with bad impressions, because when I don't do an impression, y'all like, why are you saying it so plain?
No, I'm with you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. It's still a bad impression, but
I mean, I don't do impressions.
So I'm just gonna do bad impressions. Fuck y'all. So triple threat is advertised between 3 possible choices for it, with Sanity and the Persian Lions barred from ringside. Before the match, Stephen A. Smith announces that he is interviewing Macho Man Randy Savage. Stephen continues, Randy, it appears the criticism against the current champion is that he doesn't take his job seriously. He makes it a joke. Now, you are being accused of the same thing. Any response? Macho Man comes in. Ooh, they think the Macho Man is not serious, huh? That could not be further from the truth, Stephen A.
Is that Macho Man or Albie Cummings?
That's either. I made a 100% serious muscle, which means I am capable of things that others are not.
No. I know what he sounds like. You know the anime. You know the animes where they have the random villain that gets whooped on. Like,
Yes.
That's what he sounds like.
Oh, I could take that incel Eric Young and snap him like a Slim Jim. He pulls a Slim Jim from his jacket and snaps it.
Oh no!
This is
So wait, he just pulled a bear. Wait! He just pulled a bear Slim Jim out his pocket.
Yes.
I hate that. That's disgusting.
This is rapper Macho Man. This isn't regular Macho Man. This isn't Macho Man.
No,
we
this
just-
is
the truth, Hogan.
No, this is 80s Macho Man right here. You
the one
see.
that dropped diss tracks on Hogan and Triple H.
Okay, that's fire too.
No, this is staged
You
to
see,
sell.
while I am made of 100% serious muscle, the Iron Sheik is made of serious cholesterol, which will only hit his heart half as bad as my elbow drop. Then there's the champ, who the fans will choose me to face after I win this triple threat, who claims to be made of freshly squeezed orange juice, but is really the artificial flavors of Sunny D. Taboo Tuesday. Everyone will know the Macho Man is fit to be champion, as he flexes. The match takes place, and Macho Man spends too long taunting, only to get rolled up by Eric Young. After the match, Sanity and the Persian Lions circle the ring. Orange Cassidy music hits, and he slowly strolls the ramp. They see how long he's taking and storm the ring to beat down Savage. Cassidy finally picks up the pace, but by the time he gets to the ring, they're all able to divert their attention to Orange and beat him down again. Sheik and Young have a small stare down, but nod and walk away. Alright, so next week, commentary make note that Orange Cassidy is not in the building, but that Eric Young will face Iron Sheik with Macho Man as the guest referee. They're having a competitive match, and Sheik goes for a pin. Macho Man does a slow count. He does the same for Young's next pin attempt. Macho plays dumb when they yell at him for it. Macho Man, throughout the match, sets them up to hurt themselves and to look like idiots, moving opponents from moves, moving opponents from diving moves, corner moves, and moving the rope from rope breaks and other shenanigans. After about 7 minutes of this, the two heels stop wrestling and start beating down Macho Man to end the match. She gets on the mic and says, "If any of you idiots vote for the Macho Man, I will hop the rail and kick every single ass. We are the real options." So,
That's not how he would say that.
I don't fucking know. All
Kick
right.
every single ass.
No, that's,
Every
that's,
single
not even,
ass.
that's not even the threat he would give you.
We are the real options, and your champion is a joke. No one will laugh at Taboo Tuesday. Only cry. I will drink your tears for refreshment. And he
You
slams.
needed to go like do some Iron Sheik. If you ever bring Iron Sheik back again, you need to spend at least 2 days on his Twitter because like he's got built-in catchphrases and you're not hitting any of them.
He talks about kicking Hulk Hogan's ass every single day.
No. He talks about breaking his fucking back and making him humble. He talks about
He says
fucking
kicking
you in
his
the
ass too.
He talks about go fuck yourself. He go, you are the jabroni, but Shiki Baby is the real.
And
Shiki
he
Baby will break that
also-
jabroni Hulk Hogan back. Fuck him in the ass and make him humble.
He also says he's going to kick his ass, which I've been saying in every promo. This is TV14, not TVR.
Don't care. Then you shouldn't have Iron Sheik.
So, continuing forward. He slams the
Or
mic
like
down
Iron Cheeks.
as the ref stops
Am I right, gamers?
the Youngs beat down on Savage.
Wait. So what makes a TV 14? Because didn't you have a dude pull a knife out?
Yes.
True.
You had
Right.
ass cheeks on here earlier that were blurred out.
Got him.
It was blurred.
We had ass cheeks and dicks.
It was blurred.
Also, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in the modern era, if this is on what channel is this on?
It's on FS1.
So TV ratings don't even matter because
I know.
It's like you can literally.
But
do
we're not
whatever you
saying
want on
like
cable
fuck every
television.
2 seconds. We say shit here and there. It's about AEW's level of adult. It's not getting like raunchy.
Well, Iron Sheik should get raunchy. He should be the only one that's allowed to do it.
All right. Anyways, next week
Anyways,
on Malice, Killian Dane is squashing a local talent with Young and Sanity at ringside. Macho Man hops the barricade and starts whooping on Young. The rest of the Sanity pile on. As this starts, the music of Orange Cassidy plays, and from the curtain, one at a time, the Persian Lions are tossed out. Then Orange Cassidy, now sporting all black denim, runs out to ringside with urgency and orange punches every single one of them, showing excitement and anger afterwards. Macho Man goes to lift Cassidy's arm up, but Cassidy pulls away and walks off. So basically, Orange Cassidy isn't being lazy anymore. He's showing that he cares, and he's fucking people up, and he's showing that with black denim. So for the attires, Eric Young is wearing that grungy olive green, like that puke green. Sheik is in royal blue and purple shorts with a blue turban. Macho Man is in orange, white, and pink entrance attire with pink trunks and orange boots. And then Orange Cassidy is wearing the all-black denim. So here's the spots. So Orange Cassidy has an explosive start, hitting lariats and ripcord knees to all three. Young slides out of the ring. As Macho Man and Sheik are getting up, Orange Cassidy jumps off their backs and front flips towards Young, who hits him out of the air with a chair. Sheik puts Macho Man on the bottom step and then slams the top one onto him, making a stair sandwich. Young whacks every one of them with a kendo stick and then does the Russian leg sweep with it on Orange Cassidy. Macho Man pulls the table from under the ring to the excitement of the crowd. When he sets it up, Young runs at him. Macho Man tosses him over his head through the table. It's like a monkey toss. Sheik then starts choking Macho Man with a chain until Orange Cassidy orange punches him. Young gets in the ring and pours a bag of tacks. Orange climbs to the top rope, hops up and superplexes him off the top rope onto the tacks. Eric Young attempts a pin, but Macho Man elbow drops to break it up. As he's trying to pin Young, Sheik locks in a camel clutch. And as Macho Man is about to tap to the camel clutch, Orange Cassidy hits the orange punch on Sheik. Rather than going for a pin, he goes to the corner and charges up for another, getting the crowd hyped up. He goes for another orange punch, but Macho Man throws a powder at Orange Cassidy's eyes. The camera and commentary reveal that is sand. Skip says, "Did he just do pocket sand?" And then Shannon Sharp yells, "He ain't got no pockets." Macho Man then rolls him up with a schoolboy and wins. Commentary notes that Orange Cassidy got serious only to lose to dumb antics like that.
I'm conflicted because I feel like you took away the best part. You took away Orange Cassidy's whole identity, and it felt very sudden. Like there was no development to like him turning serious.
Well, there
It felt
was.
like.
It's because when he would lollygag, like, he would get the fuck beat out of him.
I get that, but like it just felt like you had him getting beat down, and then like the next week he just shows up a different person. Like
So he was off a week, and what kept happening is Macho Man kept losing, getting fucked up. Him and Macho Man were basically getting their asses beat for doing dumb shit by the serious heels. So Orange Cassidy comes back serious, and it looks like it's gonna work, and then he loses to some dumb shit. It's supposed to like,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
get
supposed
what
to
you're
be
going for, but I felt like I wish there was a little bit more like explanation. Like it just felt very sudden that he went from like slowly walking, obviously doing Orange Cassidy, to the next week, like 2 weeks later, he's a different person.
yeah.
Um,
Like, he's still packaged similarly, but now he's showing that he like cares is basically like the thing because he feels like he has to now. But
yeah, I
clearly,
wish like we got an interview or something before that, like that it kind of just explains the change in attitude, not just him suddenly being different.
yeah. But clearly,
Um,
it's not working out for him. Is kind of what I'm going for.
And I liked your Macho Man. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Okay.
I don't really have a whole lot of commentary here.
Okay.
It was a little goofy, but everything's seeming to be less sport-like and more goofy, which is fine. That's your
Didn't
wheelhouse.
you say he was going for sport like? Wasn't that your original?
Yeah,
was.
but he pivoted because he's not doing
Right.
well with it, I think.
He's not.
Well, I'm kind of like doing like, I don't know. I like some goofy stories, but I'm still doing like the sports stuff with the tournament and all that. But I mean, my
I
earlier
think tournaments are just wrestling.
that's fair. But like, I'm also doing like records and like win percentages and all that shit. But and also
Okay.
with some of the talent that I have featured and the Taboo Tuesday stuff, it's gonna be a little hokey.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to give you a 3.4.
I'll take it.
How many matches you got left?
I have 2 segments and 2 matches.
Okay.
I'm giving you a 3.5.
I'll take it.
What are you doing?
I don't know. It looks cool.
I'm gonna give you a 3.5.
You're gonna say 3.5. I'll take that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be the hater.
You
By a
intentionally
dime.
hated there. You had to take away
By a
10 cents.
dime.
You wanted to be the hater there. Don't
I'll
act
do
like
it
you had to
again.
be. So the next segment, it opens with the model citizens, which is Cody Rhodes, Kit Wilson, and Elton Prince, which is pretty deadly. At the hair salon, Cody and Elton both have their hair in foil getting bleached, while Kit has his hair in rollers. So Cody says, "Hi, I'm Cody Rhodes. I have the hardest job in the world, but someone has to do it. Being the world's most attractive human is a tough task. Every single person on earth looks to me for wisdom and inspiration to make over their ugly lives. To them, I just say, just stop being ugly. Look better. Just stop being poor. Be richer. It's that simple. BBW's problems are deeper than the skin. More than I can fix alone. So, I imported these 2 British bombshells to give BBW a complete facelift." And Kit and Elton respond with their signature, "Yes, boy." And then the segment ends. That's just a quick little thing. It's promoting
3, I guess. There's nothing happened.
Cody Rhodes and the model citizens.
Oh, I didn't.
I thought it was hilarious. I'm gonna go with a 4.5.
I'll take that.
I'm gonna give you a 3.
Mike is riding for
It's
you,
just
John.
there.
I understand segments. They don't. So
Wow,
Dub.
okay.
Dub.
Yeah, it's just a 3. If it was,
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I thought something was about to happen. It was just like, okay.
It's not supposed to be like super consequential, but it's kind of explaining the gimmick that like Cody wrote, and like he's stuck up, he's snobby, he's trying to he built a faction of other attractive
I
people.
get it. It makes sense. It's a thing that happens.
Tells them to stop being poor and stop being ugly. Just simply stop.
I get it, but that's like a weekly kind of thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes
It
sense.
is a weekly kind of thing. I still
It's
like
weird that you
it.
did a vignette during
It
the
happened. It can happen.
Yeah,
video, but it
I'm here
doesn't.
for it.
I'm rolling with it. It happened. So, anyways, next up will be our women's championship match, where the fans have voted. Lita will face ODB. So here is going to be the build. Once again, the first week is going to be that championship segment with Cuban talking about the title contenders. So we're starting at week 2 of the build. It is advertised that this week, Shotzi, Paige, and Ripley will face the 3 contenders in a trios match. Before the match, the Femme Fatalities are interviewed by Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. asks, Lita, you've been a dominant champion thus far. No denying that. The 3 challengers the fans are choosing between pose your greatest threat yet. How are you going to prepare? And Lita says, the same way I always do, Steve. Going into the match, unbothered and shitting on these weak bitches with minimal effort. I make it look easy because it is. I'm bored out there. Steven retorts, so that's why you bring a party of 20 to every match, huh? And Lita makes a cutthroat hand signal like this to the Femme Fatalities, and they start beating the piss out of Stephen A. Smith until ODB runs up, followed by Britt Baker and AJ Lee, the other 2 choices. The Femme Fatalities scurry off, trying to make it look cool, like they didn't get scared. They're just kind of walking away because they chose to. The match takes place, and all hell breaks loose. The Femme Fatalities attack the private practice outside the ring, who are managing Britt Baker. ODB, Lee, and Baker attack them. Lita jumps in too. The scuffle ends with ODB jumping off the top rope to the outside with a chair underneath her leg in leg drop form. You know how Sabu would put the chair underneath his legs for a leg drop. She does that to the top rope on everybody. After the show, it is announced via BBW Twitter that the Femme Fatalities will be suspended from all BBW events until Taboo Tuesday for their attack on Stephen A. Smith. Following week, a Beat the Clock challenge is booked for the 3 contenders to show the fans that they deserve their votes. Britt Baker defeats Trish Stratus in 10 minutes and 39 seconds. AJ Lee beats Deonna Purrazzo in 11 minutes and 13 seconds, eliminating her. And ODB faces Dakota Kai and beats her in 10 minutes and 41 seconds, losing the challenge by 2 seconds. That night, BBW posts breaking news that Britt Baker was viciously attacked at the airport by the Femme Fatalities, and they will be fining Lita $10,000 while updating fans on Baker's condition. Next week, AJ Lee cuts a promo saying, I am sick. I am sick of women's wrestling existing in a cycle of degradation, embarrassment, false hope, and disappointment. You deserve better. I deserve better. We deserve better. We deserve better than a group of Neanderthals trampling our progress with no consequence. We deserve management better than management that lets it happen. We deserve better than me sharing the spotlight with a part-time dentist and a full-time bar hopper. Give me your vote, and I will once again break the cycle.
What's the favorite bar of the bar hopper?
Probably the Wolf Trap.
Yeah.
Not the Dirty
No.
Spoon. That's just nasty.
No,
Oh.
all the homies go to the Dirty Spoon.
It's gonna be Applebee's Dollaritos.
Bar hop.
Anyways, ODB comes out and says, I'm going to do it like that Marge Simpson kind of voice. You know,
That's
someone-
someone the fuck. Like,
for someone that pretentious, you're awfully stupid. You're falling for it. Wake up. You saw this win a month ago. There's 4 of them. There can either be 2 of us at this point, or we can get our asses kicked in. We gotta stick together. And then AJ just kind of looks at her and says, you are beneath me, and leaves the ring and walks right past her. ODB shrugs. A few days later in the week, Lita posts a video of the Femme Fatalities busting into AJ Lee's house while her husband is on the road. They beat down Lee, throw her through
On
the
the
glass
road doing
window,
what?
and kick the dog Larry.
where's her husband at?
Not Larry.
He's in another wrestling company touring.
Okay.
He said not Larry.
They throw AJ Lee through a window and kick the dog. These some mean bitches.
So wait. Do we see them kick the dog?
Yes. Well, they probably like, gimmick it in some way where like they like throw the kick towards the dog and then move the camera away or something like that. They probably gimmick it in real life, but it appears as if they kicked the dog on TV.
Like it cuts out right as they
Yeah,
kick
yeah.
the dog. You just hear the dog.
Yeah, and
noise.
there's like
Man, PETA is gonna be all over your
and then a
ass.
plush dog just flies across the room. like fucking Anchorman when he punts Baxter off the bridge.
That is the best part of the movie.
He punted Baxter.
Speaking of Anchorman, watch RCW.
Dub. I love RCW. The final week, it's reported that Britt Baker has a fracture in her arm and can't make it to Taboo Tuesday. ODB comes out with a bat in one hand and a mic in the other. She says, "I'm not in the business of mind games, so why don't we get this over with? We're all in Vegas. LeVar won't do shit to you anyway. Why don't you raggedy bitches pull up and we'll handle this while we're on the clock?" So Lita and the Femme Fatalities appear on the screen, and Lita says, "That would be all too simple. Why would I spoil a perfect plan? AJ Lee is taking a Z-Pack in Chicago. Britt Baker is seeing real doctors in Pittsburgh. And all that's left is the weakest link. Now, you get to spend the next 24 hours tired, afraid, alone, and helpless. You know you're going to get taken out. It's just a matter of when. And best part of all is these idiots in Vegas had all their power taken away, and I get to drink their tears on my night off. I'd say see you tomorrow, but I probably won't." So before the match, LeVar Ball comes out and says, this is the night of, "I've been dreading this part of the night. The fans have voted ODB to be their number one contender tonight, but I'm not sure that any of the candidates will be able to compete. Let's bring out the champion." So Lita comes out with only Rhea Ripley and Paige, looking super smug. LeVar says, "And the challenger?" And there's a long pause. And Lita is yelling to just call the match, get it over with, end it here. And right as things look like the match will actually be called, Shotzi is thrown through the curtain, followed by ODB holding a bat. They're both looking bloody and beaten up. So here's the attires. Lita's in all black leather pants and crop top. ODB is in a white bloody tank top and jeans with messed up ass hair, because she just got done fighting Shotzi, assumedly. So the bell rings and ODB slides outside and knocks down Paige and Rhea with a shoulder tackle. She gets in the ring and is met with a drop salt from Lita. Lita runs at ODB, but ODB monkey tosses her to the outside where she hits the floor directly. ODB front flips off the apron to the outside. She spine busters Lita onto the apron. The count is at 7 and Lita slides in. Rhea and Paige try to hold ODB outside for the count out, but they get kicked from ringside by the ref. Lita hits a springboard back elbow on ODB as she gets in the ring. She climbs up to the top rope and attempts a diving Hurricane Rana, but gets caught. Sit out powerbombed for a pin attempt in a close 2. ODB starts slamming Lita's head into the turnbuckle for the Dirty Dozen, but Lita slides to the outside to run away. And then Shotzi finally makes her way down to the ring, looking beat to hell. And Lita seems to give her some instructions. ODB goes outside. Lita runs away from her, and ODB starts whooping on Shotzi again. Lita suicide dives to the outside, but ODB steps away so that only Shotzi gets hit. ODB tosses Lita into the ring, charges up, and hits the BAM, which is a TKO basically, to pin Lita and become the new women's champion. After the match, Lita's freaking out in the ring and starts screaming at Shotzi, choking her against the barricade outside the ring. So, that's the match. Basically, they fucked up a plan to cheat. ODB became the new champion, and Lita's mad about it.
I'm gonna give you a 2.75. Yeah, I don't care about this that much. I just have no like.
I don't either, and I wrote it last night.
Yeah, you can tell. It's a little bit better than mid. So 2.75.
Nope.
Actually, no, I gotta drop it because you just said that.
Bro, that's out of character knowledge. Stop
2.5.
this.
No, fuck that, because y'all were all over fucking Danny when he said, "Yeah, this is a piss break match."
Yeah, I gotta be consistent.
You booked the match to be bad in canon. I didn't do that. I just didn't care about the match.
No one did that.
No,
He just said that shit.
This is supposed to be a good match in kayfabe, but out of kayfabe.
So was when I fucking booked that match.
No, you said it's a piss break. It's not supposed to be good.
Danny said it.
Well, he said it's
And
supposed
he
to be a
didn't
bad
fucking
match.
wait it either, so fuck him.
So, you
Yeah,
said it was booked to be a
I'm
bad match. So,
No one
Yeah,
said that.
He
He
did.
said that. I didn't say it.
well,
Don't say you said it. Say he said it.
I didn't book this to be a bad match. I just didn't care about it when I booked it.
Okay, well, I didn't care about it when you were telling me about it.
Well, I knew you
So,
wouldn't because
I'm gonna give you 0.75, and that extra quarter is because you admitted that you didn't care about it either.
well, at least I got that quarter back.
Yeah, you got it back in the weirdest way.
Yeah, I didn't give two shits about this. I'm giving you 1.5. I was half tempted to go pick up a pizza.
The pizza's
It's always
back.
women's matches.
Wait, so Damone, what did you give it then? Because you said you were going to change it, but now you said we
Yeah, a
did
2.5. Originally, I gave him a 2.75, and they dropped it to a 2.5 because it's mid.
Yeah, I also gave it.
I-
I also gave it a 1.5.
I dead ass don't enjoy writing this story. Like,
So why would you make
And
that?
don't.
And I
Then
picked.
cut it out.
Yeah,
if you
I cut
hate
it
it
out.
that much, cut it out.
Yeah, I voted for.
but then how do I explain that it just disappears? You know.
You don't. I would have never remembered.
because you're doing pay-per-views matches. You could just not have it appear and say that the feuds and stuff are happening on live TV.
Right.
I'm going to be honest. I'm doing that with the Pure Championship. It's going to be TV only, except for the big pay-per-view. But I feel like you could have done that with this. You could have cut this out entirely. The reason I voted for ODB is because you had built ODB up in your last pay-per-view, so I thought it would be her story would be continuing would have been the right way to go. I just wish it was better.
Do you remember who I voted for?
So my big thing here is that like everything with this faction storyline has fallen flat, you know. So my only goal with this was just to make Lita drop. That's dead ass. Like I just wanted to end it. Like I'm
You
just
could have
like,
done that on live TV though, on Weekly
Yeah.
Show.
so I just had the pay-per-view match and I was like, I'm just gonna make her drop, and it's not gonna get a great score anyway. The whole division hasn't gotten a good score once, so I just don't give a fuck about it anymore. So just being honest.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would have been like, "Oh crap, where's your women's title?" I really wanted that.
Don, are you broken right now?
No, it's just like I just never cared about that division. I was dreading presenting that match. I dreaded writing that match. That's
Then
I
why
it
did
last
you
night.
make it? If you hated it that much, why did you continue?
Because
with
I just
really
didn't have an
put us through it.
explanation. I just didn't have an explanation for not
Like,
having it.
you were,
Got to
it's
see
like
it
you were
through, my
doing
boy.
it- it's like you were doing it for us, but we didn't ask for it.
We actually asked you not to do it, to be honest with you.
So
He's like that mom that hates cooking. He's like, I gotta do it. We're like, we already ate. Why are you cooking?
So I'm just gonna admit I'm a sexist next show and never book women again.
Women don't get good scores here. I will
Look,
say that.
I'll be honest.
We look like some sexist pigs. Nobody really has a great women's division.
Hey,
No,
whoa! My women's division is
Damone
popping.
shouldn't get them, and he does.
My
I
women's
feel like
division
I-
is popping.
I feel like I'm doing pretty well with my women this time.
Who
so.
is in your women's division?
Tessa
Who?
in blacks.
Mike.
Are you talking me or
Mine?
No, Mike.
I'll say something with
Exactly.
Damone.
Shut the fuck up.
I have Carmella.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Who is
I
your
was-
women's champion?
Carmella.
Oh, I remember making
I
that
forgot
mistake.
about that.
She won it from Ivory.
Yeah, I didn't
hate it.
remember that
I
shit.
didn't- yeah.
Anyways, LeVar
Not
Ball
doing as
goes up
well
to
as
the
you thought,
podium.
Mike.
I think I have Asuka.
Yuck. Anyways, he's
That's
interrupted.
nasty women's division.
So LeVar Ball goes up to the podium, but before he can speak, he's interrupted by the music of The Miz. Miz starts down to the ring in a fancy red suit, and he takes a mic. And he says, "Have you noticed something missing lately? This show is suffering due to a lack of star power. I am the biggest star in wrestling and in movies, and I'm not even an option for a fan poll. This arena should be in a state of mutiny, but these fans repay me with silence as I ride the pine until the next talk show segment. I have had enough. I am the biggest star in Hollywood," and he gets cut off by the choral singing that makes itself familiar as the chorus of Face Off by Tech 9. As the chorus goes into, "It's about drive, it's about power, we stay hungry, we devour." The Rock comes out to the curtain and the arena goes ape shit. He hypes up the crowd and makes his way down to the ring. Yeah, he's coming out to his song. Yes, he is.
Bruh. I didn't realize he was coming out to that. That's disgusting.
He's about to be the new Cena. So that's what the crowd
This
makes.
song is not good.
It's not.
Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours. So The Rock comes out to the arena. Comes out the arena, goes apeshit. He hypes up the crowd and makes his way down the ring. The Miz angrily approaches him, saying, "What are you doing on my show, ruining my moment? Shouldn't you be filming Fast 57?" The Rock picks up a mic, but can't speak the first time because the crowd is too loud. And he finally says, "Shouldn't you be filming Bofa?" Miz says,
You already fucked up the formula. You fucked up The Rock's formula.
"I'm not doing the formula. Fuck you. Actually,
He comes
I
out
make
doing child jokes, both.
I make real." And The Rock says, "Both of my feet in your ass if I have to smell your stinky breath again. Now know your role and shut your stinky mouth."
You know what?
The Miz looks at the ground and says,
No, that's not the catchphrase.
That's not it. No, like none of this.
"Oh, so
First
y'all
you
spend this whole time saying The Rock's too formulaic." And then
Rock
And you
is
made it worse.
formulaic.
Yeah,
You're
you made it
supposed
worse.
to go with, if you want a good Rock promo, you go with the formula.
"Nah, I'm changing it
proven
up."
Came out
to
doing
work.
both jokes.
So he says,
These nuts.
John's literally got 6th grade humor, guys. So leave him alone. He's trying
I'm
his
in the
best,
great
okay?
state of Ligma.
You don't have to rub his nose
Lick
in it.
my nuts.
I mean, you could at least start
My-
it
my-
with a finally. The Rock has come back to wherever the fuck.
so he
it
was
is.
responding to the Miz. Back to Bofa. Miz says, "Real cute. You're playing nothing but the hits, I see." And this is the problem around
He's
here.
not playing the
He's not playing the hits.
He's playing the B
He
side.
dropped some new shit on us that we didn't like. He's Bobby Smurder.
Put in the work, put in the hours. The problem is around here, I spend years perfecting multiple crafts and to be the very best I could be, while you play the same tired role in wrestling and in movies. I am not going to be buried for your little nostalgia pop. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to focus on my championship aspirations. Good day, Dwayne. As he steps out of the ring, 2 masked men in suits top the barricade and attack The Rock from behind. The Miz goes back in and makes it a 3-on-1 assault that ends in a skull-crushing finale. The 2 men remove their masks to reveal the Bollywood boys as they pose in the middle of the ring, standing over The Rock.
This is like if you went to a Dr. Dre concert and
Did
he didn't
you-
play any of the songs from the Chronic.
Did
Like
you?
we don't get any Forgot About Dre. We don't get Dre Day. He just plays like randomly.
So
all new
I'm
hits
never
and no
going to hear y'all
one-liners.
say The Rock is formulaic again.
No, he
Y'all-
is
The Rock
formulaic.
is formulaic.
So-
That's the
And I'm okay
point.
with it.
So you're mad that I
Well,
didn't
this
make
is-
him formulaic?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
The
then,
Rock.
no, I'm mad that you didn't make him formulaic, and then you said, "Oh, yours gonna be formulaic, huh?" But he wasn't. He didn't do any of the things that he normally does.
None of
Yeah,
that.
he didn't
The
play
promo
any of
sucked
that.
because you made him do shit that doesn't make sense for him, and then you made Miz say you're doing the same old shit when you were specifically saying he's doing new shit.
Right.
Apparently,
It makes sense.
apparently, in this universe of BBW, he almost had the same catchphrases, but they're slightly.
He always comes out the both.
It's like the catchphrase is down the hall.
We got the great value, Rock.
We got the
When you-
boulder.
When you
With the
order,
hits.
when you order the Rock off Wish.
We really got the stone. I hate it here.
Hey, stop bullying him, guys. I probably will bully him now.
Now we're gonna break him.
I'm sorry, John.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give this a 1.
Oh wait, are you still going or is this done?
No, that's over.
That was it.
Oh, that's
I would
over.
give- I would give it that a 1. I'm sorry, John. That was terrible.
Had you got the catchphrases right,
You would have gotten a way better.
you would
score.
have
probably
gotten a
got,
way
like, 4.
higher score. I'm going with the 2.5.
When did you write this?
Last night.
He was watching Vaughn when he was watching Vaughn when he did that. And I
John,
took-
it's very
I went
easy.
back and watched old Vaughn.
Just throw a Rock promo on, get the idea, and then write.
Just copy and paste. That's all it is.
So,
Because
so y'all are saying it not be original.
No,
Yes.
That's it.
No, that's
That's
exactly what I'm saying.
exactly it. It's The Rock.
Oh
The
my
Rock
God.
has the same shit. He hits the same notes.
This is
If
so
Stone Cold
stupid.
comes out and cuts a promo, I expect the same things.
Candy ass. A stunner.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Finally, it doesn't matter what you think.
Bofa. You forgot
Not
the
Bofa.
you forgot the
You
hit.
could have done
Rudy
Bofa. You
Bofa.
could have snuck that in
You
there.
could have snuck Bofa in, but you had to get through the other things first.
Yeah.
And also, what like Travis said, you
It
can't have the
doesn't
Miz
matter.
say you're doing all the same shit when he's not doing any of the same shit.
It's like
It
Hogan
doesn't
when
make sense.
when I'm doing my Hogan, I know I gotta hit the brother and the man and the coke.
And the dude.
Yeah,
You said
It's like doing a
yeah, the coke.
It's like doing the Dusty promo and not saying "Daddy."
Exactly.
So your heart was
Different-
in the right
here's the thing.
place, but the execution was very off.
Here's the thing you gotta realize, and I think you struggle with this the most. Different or original doesn't necessarily mean good or better.
So then what's the point of fantasy booking then?
You get to see feuds you've never seen.
get-
It's not
right,
just
you-
changing the way they are.
I
You
mean, you
like
could,
The Rock is The Rock.
if you made him a whole new gimmick, I think maybe.
Exactly.
But it's The Rock. You're presenting him as The Rock, but you're giving us The Rock promo, but
John's gonna
not.
quit after this. He's gonna stop being on Book It.
He's gonna pull out the knife on us.
I honestly, John, I don't quit. I've loved most of the show. This is just funny. I'm giving you 2.5 because I laughed, not the way you wanted me to, but I did.
John, he won't even look us in the eyes. He's looking. At the...
How do I look at you through the eyes of a camera?
You look at us on the screen. You're not looking at us.
You're looking at the ground, like you're like.
I'm looking at my phone waiting to read
You
the
look
next
fucking
part.
stressed.
All right, let's give him his rating so we get to the last part.
Who's still gotta go? Kenny, you go next.
Yeah.
Is there
my
one
fault.
more?
I'm sorry.
There's
I got
a- there's a
headache from
match.
fucking laughing.
That can't be your ending.
They get both of them.
Both of these
All right,
nuts.
I'm
This
good.
means both of our votes.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
He
with
did
one.
Bofa, but he could have done It Doesn't Matter.
I'm just mad that you do it with the Bofa. So he said Bofa. I was like, no, John, no. I got salty for him. I was like, no.
2020's The Rock should be doing Ligma jokes. I'm calling it.
He can do him. You can sneak him in, but you can't put him in.
It felt like I was watching him doing hard drugs. And I couldn't stop him. I'm like, John, no, please.
I like John, man. John might be my favorite Book It boy. I'm voting for him next year.
Travis,
Oh.
what's your score?
What did you give him?
I said 1.
Oh,
Straight up 1.
I'll give you a 2. I'll give you a 2.25 because that was hilarious.
You know what? I'll give you 25 cents for
He
audacity.
took the mic.
Make it a 1.25.
He puts the mic to his mouth like he's finally. But he's like,
You want to hear a joke? It's like, whoa.
and then he has him talking. It's like instead of
Finally, Ray has come back. Ratio.
no, you still
The Rock-
did not hit it.
The Rock comes out and cuts a L plus ratio.
I was like, what? Imagine this big moment. Like, you're like, the Rock is finally here. And he's just come.
You remember when John made fun of me for having Tyler Breeze call Jay Briscoe a bozo? And he called him a bozo like he's in 6th grade.
I liked it. I liked it though. I like
Bofa joke.
John,
Travis. I gave that match like a 5.
No, you didn't. You gave me the worst score on that match.
I feel like
swear I did
John
not.
hits us
You
the
did.
most. John
You
hits
hated
us-
me because I gave Jay
Give me a
Briscoe the win.
receipt. Give me a receipt. That's
I'll find
bullshit.
it. That was my
John-
first match last time.
I,
so I'll
I
find
might
it.
be wrong, but I feel like John gets on us the most for not sticking to people's characters.
I do not do that.
No, John wants everybody to be super original, super creative. Like whatever their character was before, he wants it gone,
No more.
erased, and do whatever.
I mean,
that's
they
true.
can't even have
That might-
if they've had one match against each other on Velocity in 1992, then they can never feud.
That is true.
My doink segments better be getting 5s, John.
You got
Right.
more Doink segments?
Yes. Finally, we're going.
Good. I want
What?
more
It's-
joint.
we're
Less
doing-
Hogan.
I set my show 5 or 6 months later.
Oh,
So
Big
my
hit.
these next set of shows, and I'm going from there.
I wish I could set my life 5 to 6 months later.
are
This
you not
book
doing the
verse be
thing we
over.
talked about now?
What do we talk? Oh, I'm still doing it.
Okay,
No, yeah.
not the triple threat, the other thing.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
I wish I could set my life
Yeah,
like
the
5
message.
hours later.
Message it to me because I don't remember.
Okay,
Anyway,
Oh,
Travis, did you give him his?
Yeah, I gave him a 2.25.
Yeah, they got
yeah.
the
He
scores.
get 2.25.
All right,
And
let's
you got
go.
my extra quarter, right? That I gave him for Audacity.
Oh man, I'm gonna
So
eat
make
some
it-
Wendy's after this. Wendy's
So-
nuts hit you.
Damn, I gotta say that for next time.
From now on.
All right, John, go to the next part.
All right, this is our
It
main
doesn't matter what the next part is.
Wait. That's too original. Go with the classics. Go with the classics.
Open these nuts.
Yeah.
All right, go to the next part. Go to the next part. I promise.
All right, so LeVar Ball goes to the podium for his final time. And he says, now for the match you've been waiting for, the main event. Cedric Alexander is still standing after the brutality last night, and there's more to come as you voted for this match to be a Stairway to Hell match. And Gilbert Gottfried explains, a Stairway to Hell match is basically like an Extreme Rules match, but barbed wire is hung from above the ring to be retrieved by a ladder.
Why does Gilbert Gottfried sound like Phyllis Diller?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
She's an old white comedian that sounds exactly how you're talking right now.
Yeah, almost he really does.
Well, fair
This
enough.
sounds like Danhausen had a sore throat.
You ever watch Hey Arnold growing up?
Yes.
You know the episode where his sister comes?
Yeah.
His grandpa's sister comes to visit?
Yeah.
She plays the grandpa's sister.
Oh, shit.
All right, let's get this.
Don't
done.
try to hurry us up now after you went
It's
over
like
the fucking
2 hours
promo
in.
College of the Rock. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm on my main
Fuck
event.
you.
Here we go. All right. So the first week of the build is the championship segment, and then Cedric goes into this jump the line gauntlet match where he defeats Rhino, The Miz, Booker T, Killian Dane, Sami Zayn, and Big E. Starting from the beginning against The Miz, who gets rolled up while taunting. Next week, the polls go live for the type of match Cedric will face MJF in. After showing this, is advertised that they'll meet face-to-face. Cedric Alexander comes out to a big pop after winning a hard-fought gauntlet last week and securing the title match before King of the Ring. He says, and I'm just going to do kind of plain, because Cedric kind of got a vanilla voice. Kind of typical. Last week, I made your choices heard, as your chants of my name carried me through 6 other wrestlers, and I became your #1 contender. Everything within me wants to celebrate, but tonight, it's all business. As Kobe once said, the job's not finished, so I will not rest until I am the BBW World Champion in a match of your choosing. All I ask is that you pick something nice and brutal so that MJF can pay for all that he's done to our roster. The crowd cheers until MJF's music hits, and MJF slowly walks to the ring while saying, competent promo, slightly above mid. I would give it about 3.5 D-Money dollars. Not bad. Honestly, I'm not even mad about this. I think you'll give me a good match, another notch in my belt, and put on a good show despite having no chance of actually winning. Truthfully, anyone in that gauntlet would have concerned me more, but you're just not on my radar. Don't worry though, Cedric, don't worry. I'll give you a nice rub so that maybe you'll get a shot at the Pythagorean Theorem title or be a part of the Brian Cage part-time extravaganza. Cedric, the job is finished because this is the peak of your career. And he drops the mic and walks away, but Cedric grabs his arm and turns him around. MJF goes for a cheap shot punch, but Cedric ducks and grabs MJF to hit a lumbar check that bounces MJF out of the ring. Like MJF oversells the shit out of it. And Cedric, music plays for the crowd that continues to chant for him. So on the third week of the build, the next week on Malice, Cedric's home is in Cedric's hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the week that LaMelo Ball gets beat up at the Hornets game. So throughout the night, Cedric chants fill the building. Cedric comes out at the end of the night to address the hot crowd. He says, last week I provided a preview for Taboo Tuesday when I hit MJF with a lumbar check and embarrassed him in front of the entire world. Now, the job may not be finished, but damn are we close, Charlotte. So here's the itinerary. First, we laugh at this picture of MJF, and a picture of MJF making a funny face selling that lumbar check goes on the screen. Then, I do the same to the Mean Street Posse. And finally, then I take the BBW Championship in Las Vegas, and finally, I bring that beautiful belt home to Charlotte, where we fill the streets for a championship celebration. Are y'all with me? And then the crowd cheers loudly, but out comes MJF with an angry look, saying, Cedric, I tried to be a nice guy. Truthfully, out of pity, but nonetheless, I was willing to make your career and leave you relatively unscathed. That was until you decided to breathe my air, touch my expensive Armani suit, and attack me completely unprovoked. So now you will realize that a step forward against me is always 10 steps back. I am the inevitable, and you went from a harmless worm to a parasite that I will exterminate. But before we handle you, we decided to do the women's division a favor. And the screen shows the Mean Street Posse backstage repeatedly hitting concertos on the bad knee of Big Swole. Cedric runs to the ramp and MJF walks through the curtain. Cedric chases him backstage and MJF has Swole in a chokehold. He yells, "Touch me," and she goes to sleep. Cedric hesitates and the posse goes after him. Cedric is able to fight the Mean Street Posse off, but by the time he frees himself and makes it to the parking lot, a car is peeling out and MJF is gone. Big Swole is left passed out on the concrete. Next week, LeVar Ball announces that Cedric has requested and been granted an Extreme Rules match against the Mean Street Posse with MJF barred from ringside. That match takes place, and after early struggles, Cedric whoops their asses with various weapons as Swole watches on crutches from ringside. While Cedric is celebrating winning with her in the ring, MJF sneakily slides in from behind, yanks Swole's crutch from under her, and cracks Cedric in the back with it. He then starts cornering Swole as she attempts to scurry away on one leg, and as he starts to choke her with his foot, MJF is suddenly yanked back and hit with a lumbar check. Cedric gets on top of MJF and starts throwing punches until Pete Gas is able to grab MJF's leg and pull him out of the ring. Cedric is visibly feeling the crutch shot to the back, but stands tall as the show fades. On the final Malice before Taboo Tuesday, it is advertised there will be one more face-to-face encounter between Cedric and MJF. Midway through the show, a match is moved to picture-in-picture as MJF and Cedric Alexander are brawling in the parking lot. Cedric gets the better of most of it, aside from MJF breaking off and getting a few good cheap shots in. Cedric hits his loud slap. He has a spinning back elbow where he slaps his arm super fucking loud, and it's just super loud. He hits that and knocks MJF back multiple feet. After he does this, he turns around to see a speeding limo running him over. Cedric flies into the windshield. Afterwards, the Mean Street Posse get out of the limo, scoop up MJF, and get him into the limo, quickly turn around and drive off. So that's where it leaves off the bill. The attires we got tonight are Cedric Alexander in a symbiote Spider-Man themed trunks, while MJF is in leaf green trunks with gold accents. So here's the spot. Cedric starts the match with that spinning back elbow and then lifts him up for a lumbar check, but MJF scurries away to the outside. Cedric gets a tope con hilo, then goes under the ring, hitting MJF with a chair, a kendo stick, and a crutch, basically just kind of going through the ring, getting the weapons from under and hitting him with them. MJF crawls underneath the ladder, and as Cedric chases, MJF pushes the ladder into him and then chucks it at Cedric's head. MJF lifts the ladder up to the apron and moonsaults with the ladder in his hands, hitting Cedric as he gets up. MJF suplexes Cedric onto an upright chair inside the ring. Cedric hits a handspring enziguri into the chair that MJF is holding in front of his face. Cedric cracks MJF with a chair, knocking him into the low turnbuckle. Cedric puts the chair on MJF's face and sets up a ladder across the ring on the opposite corner. He uses the turnbuckle to quickly climb the ladder and hits a coast-to-coast off the ladder, kicking the chair into MJF's face. When he collects himself for a pin attempt, MJF is able to kick out at 2. Cedric looks up at the barbed wire and sees a way to put MJF away, so he starts making a slow climb, but by the time he reaches the top, MJF is up and tips the ladder over, knocking Cedric to the floor outside. MJF stalks Cedric on the outside, stepping on his hands and kicking him in the face. He then exposes the concrete floor. He puts Cedric on the apron, using it for leverage to hit the heat seeker onto the exposed concrete. He attempts a pin and gets a super close to, looking visibly frustrated. MJF goes into the ring, climbs the ladder, but when he gets to the top, the camera shows a long ladder leaned up against the ropes on the outside. Cedric runs up it, jumps to MJF's ladder, and starts punching him to stop him from getting the barbed wire. MJF gets a few good punches that make Cedric slide off the ladder. Cedric goes around to the other side. He gets off, goes around to the other side, pulls MJF off the ladder by his foot, and as he falls, he hits a super lumbar check. Cedric goes for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out. Cedric eyes are the size of Neptune as he scurries to the ladder and grabs the barbed wire and wraps it around his fist. He chases MJF around the ring until MJF trips, and Cedric gets on top of him, punching him until he's bleeding badly. MJF leans to the outside of the ring, grabbing at anything he can while Cedric pulls him back, but MJF is able to grab the crutch that is sitting outside the ring and nail Cedric in the head with it. And as Cedric wavers back, MJF grabs the barbed wire arm and locks in the salt of the earth, pressing the barbed wire into Cedric's arm, causing blood to go down it. Cedric fights for a solid minute, but before passing out completely. The ref does the arm test, and it falls all 3 times. MJF is your winner and still BBW World Champion.
Can you explain the rules of a Stairway to Hell match?
It's literally just an Extreme Rules match where they hang barbed wire above the ring that you can get with a ladder.
You found the workaround to me drafting barbed wire. I just the eyes the size of Neptune got me.
I don't know why I got y'all so bad.
Not mad. It was just hilarious. Like it's a very random description. I've never heard anything described that way, except on like SpongeBob.
He's probably watching SpongeBob.
Were you watching SpongeBob
No,
when you wrote this?
my brain is just fucking broken.
Your brain is just.
I think I dead ass am around like people whose frontal cortexes aren't developed yet. And
Yeah, you're around what
it-
6th graders all day.
Yeah, I think it really has fucked with my brain.
I'm sure it has.
Yeah.
You still dress like them.
What happened to he has the best?
Yeah, you said he was the
No,
most
I
jammed
agree
out
with that. That was in jest in entertainment's sake.
What do you think about his bandana right now, Mike?
Oh no, that's I don't hate it,
I
but
truthfully
would
wonder
wear
what
it.
Kenny thinks.
Why would you say what Kenny thinks?
We know why. we know what community Kenny hates.
Wow.
Wow.
He was there, spread that lie on the airwaves.
I didn't say what community.
It doesn't matter. There's an entire community.
Is it the
saying
East?
hate.
Is it the Easter community? Those look like Easter colors.
Yeah, we'll say Easter. I'm
Damn it.
gonna give this a 4.25. Like it's not perfect. The right person won. I don't. Yeah, 4.25.
I think it has potential. I'm at a 4.
I'll take it.
I'm at a 4 too. I hate Cedric Alexander in this spot, but
He's supposed to be somebody that's, good enough to have a good match, but not win it. MJF said it in his promos. It was reality.
So this is pretty much Triple H versus Booker T.
No. He did not say
No,
anything
like
about
Booker.
people like you or any racist shit like that. He's calling him a mid-carder. Not that.
All right, yeah, I also went with a 4. This is the shining light in the tunnel.
Yeah, well, that's my show. It's
Alright.
a show, all right.
It was Taboo Tuesday.
I don't
Yeah.
think it was as bad as you think it was.
Well,
I didn't even like it. Like,
that's not a
John.
good
Ugh. How are we supposed to like it if you don't like it?
that's a good ass question.
sign. Hey, he at least is being honest. He has stated multiple times, at least to me and Travis, that he didn't like this show. We tried to convince him to just cut it, but he's stubborn and
I had to stick with it because
Are we
like I
still-
didn't
No,
like-
you didn't have to stick with it. There's at no point did you have to stick with it.
well, because I like my other shit after it, so we'll see.
So you just make it work differently. All right.
It's gonna be ass regardless.
All right. Anyways, so let's book it.
next week you're getting Cyber Sunday.
Yeah.
Finally some good fucking food.
All right. Let's do plugs. Little Fudge.
If you want to suffer some more, you can go to Twitter at LilXFudge. And I will talk about Shannon Moore quite a bit.
Bad guy.
I do podcasts and stuff. Yeah. So Bad Guy Spoken on social media.
Travis.
Follow me on all social media at I am Travy T. That's at IAMTRAVVYT on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
I be TikTok and follow me on both at dumbmoney213, DAMONEY, T the number 1 number 3.
You find me on Twitter, hi-fi_Mike. I don't do much. I tweet at How I Met Your Mother and Boy Meets World podcasts. You can also find all the shows on the T13 Media Network on our website at t13media.com. It's the letter T, the number 1, 3, spelled out, media.com. And I just uploaded a new shirt design. I don't know if it'll stay up there, so I'd recommend going to look on the website for a new Book It logo shirt. And you know the rule, 5s or fuck off. When you rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
The golden rule, 5 or fuck off.
I like how he stole that from you, Damon.
Yeah. It's just
Well, he started saying it, and I needed to say it to start putting it in the fucking outro.
Hey, it's fine. I repeated it anyway.
Right. That's the bit. I say it, he repeats it.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Let's book it. See ya.
Bye.